I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man's Uncle Freezy, the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe. What's good, party people? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Got a few things we want to talk about today. I got a few things we want to talk about today, man. I want to talk about one thing in particular. Want to talk about one thing in particular, right? As the conversation evolves. That was Mrs. Mo. She's saying, hey, everybody, dropped off of water and saying hey to everybody. Hey, Miss Mocha. Let me do. I see my man in the chat. Let me do this real quick since it's a little bit later. And since we ain't gonna be here forever, let me throw this thing in the chat. Yo, come on in, yo. Come on in. I see you, baby boy. I see my man is in the chat. Yo, come on in so we can get this party started. Mr. Vince, what's good, man? Hey, man, we excited that you are doing better, man. We're excited that you're doing better. We're glad to hear that you're doing better, for sure. The point guard of the future conversation is one that's evolving, right? There he is. Hey, baby boy, how you doing?
Man, Freezy, hey, man, I forgot to call you back, man, and let you know everything was good, man, on my brother, man. You know, that accident and stuff. Everything was good. So I'm good. My nephew just graduated high school and getting ready to go to Newberry College to play football.
What?
So, yeah.
Newberry Indians. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My cousin went there to play. I think my cousin went there to play baseball. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a good morning. I see the topic you got up there, so I'm interested to see where you're going with this one.
Hey, man, it's a tricky dichotomy of Cully, what's good?
Salute, fellas.
Hey, man.
Cully, what's going on with your partner?
What's going on, man? Hope all is well, man.
Man. Been a minute.
Yeah, man. Hey, and Ron, so it's Yankees want to drive. What's good, my brother? So it's a tricky topic in a sense. Not that I'm trying to trick everybody. It's just not easy to figure out. How about that?
I feel you.
Right. And so what I want to do is explore whether we should continue this question or not. At the same time, explore whether we should make a bold move to answer the question once and for all. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
And so what I want to do is ask. I want to ask you guys this. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm just going to get straight to it. Should we explore this knowing that Tibbs is not going to be here long?
No.
The point guard position?
Yes.
Absolutely, in my opinion. Because, I mean, it's just been a reoccurring theme for us, man. It's the point guard position. We've been searching. You know what I mean? At some point, you gotta stop just like and look at the landscape of the league. Look at the teams that was in the playoffs this year. All of them, dynamic point guards. I mean, you got Memphis. You got Golden State. You got Steph Curry. You know what I mean? It's point guards, man. Point guards is, Luka. I mean, it's just you can't undervalue having a good point guard, man. And even for us, you think back, Freezy. Everybody think back to that Melo year when we had an agent, Jason Kidd, and how the Knicks look. You know what I mean? So point guard solve a lot of problems, man. And regardless of Tibbs' hand, in my opinion, you gotta find up at that position. You gotta address it. You know what I mean? I like Emmanuel quickly, but you still gotta address that point guard position.
Right.
I say no because we got Deuce.
Oh wow.
Let's see what we got.
I love Deuce too.
Yeah, I just say let's see what we got with Deuce, and then if not, explore.
Right. Right.
I'm sticking.
You know the old saying when they talk about quarterbacks? If you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got none.
Right.
You know, basically right now we depending on Emmanuel quickly to keep developing and Deuce McBride to keep developing. We don't have an established point guard right now. I don't look at Kimba and them guys. Them guys' time is up with the Knicks. If I'm in the front office, I'm getting them up out of here. But we need that person, man. We really do. We really do for a lot of reasons. There's a lot on this team. You know what I mean? So and I knew you got further to talk about it, man. So that's my thought on it.
Okay. So what you thinking, Cully? You thinking it's just Deuce?
Nah, Deuce and IQ.
Okay.
I think that's see what we got with them. You know, Rose is always hurt. Rose could be that. I'm not saying he could be a third string because Rose is probably the best. When healthy, he probably is the best point guard, obviously. But
right,
you know, at his age and yeah, or just trade him to a contender. But I don't like you said with Tibbs' time here. Who knows? You don't really know the timeline. You don't know. I mean, you know what the timeline should be, but you don't know where they're gonna go.
Okay. Hey, what's up, fellas? Mr. Rivera is in the building. Don P. What's good, y'all?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Man, chilling. Just got through with my exercise, so this is perfect timing.
Yeah, I don't get to get on anymore. I was listening, y'all. I was like, yo, I don't get to be on the pod no more. I'm always working, but I got a day off today. I was on it. As soon as I seen the link, I'm like, yeah, I'm on it today.
Yeah, man. I feel you. I feel you with that, man. I asked the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because and so here's how I get to the thing, because what I wanted to talk about is should the Knicks, and this is what I was thinking before I came up with the title for today. I had already had something in mind. What I was thinking is should James Dolan step in right now? Right, that's what I was thinking. Should Dolan step in right now? It's a quiet period, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's right before the draft. You know what I'm saying? now would be the time to make some type of change. Even if you don't change the front office or you don't change the coach, he can at least
just say something.
Do something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, y'all been pill-palling around. Y'all said y'all was gonna do this thing. Y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all but so should he do that right now?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like you know how a father tell a son, hey man, I told you to cut the grass. Now it's 5 o'clock. If you don't start right now, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be out here cutting the grass in the dark. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
You know, I was thinking, Freezy, not to cut you off. I just want to say one thing. You know how somebody is like a like they're like a bully, like they're like they use psychology, like yeah, like let's say the cops pulled up and somebody was getting bullied, and the bully's like to the cops, like the bully says to the guy that they're bullying, hey, we're friends, right? We're friends, but knowing that nobody's around, the dude is getting bullied. I feel like that's what Dolan should do. Like Dolan should be like, yeah, we're gonna draft the right guy, right? Like we're gonna draft the right guy. We're gonna make the right moves, right? Something slick like that.
Something like that, right? Yeah, kind of like.
I don't know if it knows what they're doing, right? Like, but deep down inside, they know they're gonna get fired. They mess up.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna tell you. For me, I'm gonna take the baseball approach.
Okay.
3-strike rule. 3-strike rule. Right. This is year 3. At the end of this year, man, then we'll talk if this thing ain't going any further. I'm gonna be at least that much fair. You know what I mean? To Leon Rose, give him one this last season. That's it. You know what I mean? Year one was my first year. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna allow Leon Rose to do his thing. I ain't gonna say much because I know he young with it. But in that still being said, I am going to examine. I am going to watch what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2, I seen much of the same, and even more egregious mistakes made by him. So now this is year 3. It ain't no more you being don't know what you're doing. You got experience. So after year 3, it's much like how we treat our players on them rookie deals, man. After year 3, you pretty much know what you got in the player, man, and whether or not you're gonna move off of them. Same thing with him. You know what I mean? Year 3, he's a rookie coming into the job. I'm giving you 3 years, man, and that's a wrap. If you can't do what needs to be done, we get somebody else in here who can do the job, in my opinion. But I give him till the end of the season.
Okay. So I'm in the mindset, Ron. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hear what you're saying about the front office and about that point. My deal is, even if you don't commit to Tom Thibodeau long term, do you commit to a Tom Thibodeau like coach long term?
No.
Is this culture that the Knicks are looking to set? Ultimately, Tom Thibodeau was brought here to establish a culture, right?
Understood.
So even if Tibbs is gone, with this culture and direction that you've established, do you bring in a point guard that fits that culture? Right?
I would. And the reason why I do it, if you think about the playoffs and the teams that was in the playoffs, 3 of those teams were in the top 10 on defense.
Okay.
You had the Warriors, number 2, Boston, number 1, and the Dallas Mavericks, number 7. And I know Memphis probably somewhere.
I think Miami was Miami up there. Oh,
Miami's
probably
4.
top 5. Yeah,
they're in the top. So all those teams in the playoffs got a defensive pedigree. We saw what Tibbs did last year with the team that was strictly pretty much a defensive-minded team. So if Leon, and that's why I always say, man, it's all about being on the same sheet of music. Either Leon need to do what he needs to do to make sure his man that he hired performs at his optimum. You know what I mean? Go and do what this man need to do, because he already showed you, you know what I mean, last season what he did with that roster. Don't deviate from the plan, man, and that's really on Leon. So, like I said, man, after this year, Leon would, this is it for him, and it's going to be unfortunate for Tibbs. Both of them guys we know are joined at the hip, and this won't be another show for Tibbs. So, in my opinion, you do what you need to do, man, to support your coach. If that's your guy, like you going out on the limb and say, hey, this is my man, he's coming back next year, well, you make sure this man stay around, because you won't get another job if Tibbs ain't around. He will be fired.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like this, especially with the Dolan stuff and anything, I feel like like Leon Rose and them are telling us they're cooking chicken or whatever. Like let's say OB quickly and those guys is the chicken, but where's the seasoning? They ain't seasoning nothing. So it ain't like no pizzazz to it. So it's like he need to go in there and say, oh, listen, either you move up in the draft, let's go get that Portland pick, or go get Dame, or you gotta do something. Cause this right here just playing it safe. It's playing it safe all the time. It ain't really getting us far. Teams that win, they don't play it safe. They go all in and try to get the Lakers. You could say what you want about the Lakers, but they went all in and got Anthony Davis. They got that one ring. That's
a good point. You don't hesitate. That's a good point.
Yeah, I feel you, right? And so, but here's the thing. I understand what you're saying about the defense front, right? And that's a great point, right? But you know what else Boston has, and Golden State has, and Miami has?
Heavy hitters, man.
And John Morant has. And Memphis has. They have stars, yeah. And so my deal is, with a team this young, because despite our average team age, our older players don't have an impact. See, our average age is such and such, but when you factor in the age of Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose, it makes our average age, and Kemba, yeah, and it makes our average age look older than it is.
Yeah.
But overall, we have a very, very, very young team. Very young. Right? And my deal is Sherwin M. I see your stuff, bro. I'm gonna get to it. I just want to get to this point though, just real quick. I'm gonna get to a point real quick. My deal is with a team this young, I don't want a young point guard, bro. Right? Somebody has to captain the ship. Right? Mm-hmm. And I don't want a young guy to be the captain of the ship. Right? And I'm not saying this because of you know what I'm saying, I want an old point guard. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's like the classroom setting, right? The classroom will have 21 people in it, right? Well, 20 of those people are adolescents. One person in that room is the leader of that room. That's the teacher. She is not the same age as the students, or he is not the same age as the students. You feel me? Well, what I'd like to do is get us a young leader, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And I know my example is all over the place. Say for instance, if we somehow say we draft Tata Washington, who I like, by the way. I think Tata Washington is going to be a good NBA player. I think he's going to be like a Chauncey Billups level in terms of talent. And that's high praise, right, for Tata Washington. Right? I want a Tata Washington type player. I think he was misused at Kentucky. And he's not the only player that has ever been misused at Kentucky, i.e. Devin Booker, i.e. Julius Randle, i.e. Eric Bledsoe.
Big Cat.
Yeah. Cats go to Kentucky and get misused. It happens.
Yeah, he ready to tell you, don't come there thinking that you're going to be the man.
Right. It happens when everybody in your recruiting class is a 5-star talent. Right? I.e. Cam Reddish at Duke.
Shaden Sharp ain't played at all.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is this. Ron, I think it might be time for us to consider if we go out and get, if point guard is the thing. Say for instance, we go away from what Cully is saying, right? Mm-hmm. And we do bring in another young point guard. I think eventually that player can be the leader. Him, IQ, Miles McBride can be the point guard rotation. I don't have a problem with that. Right?
Yeah, because you're generally gonna have three point guards on your roster anyway.
Anyway, right. But I think it's time for us to get a on the floor leader. Right?
Boy,
right?
you know, that was
so,
huge what you just said.
And so with that said, what happens is I think we lost a lot of these games this year. Not only because we needed a point guard, but we lacked on the court discipline. Right?
Yeah.
Teams like I remember a game we were down like 9, team come out the gate, just jump all over us. And we were like, oh, wait a minute. By the time we get our bearings, we down 14. And then we got to climb all the way back. We cut the lead to 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just for example, we cut the lead to 2, and then we play like that 2-point, 4-point, 2-point, 4-point, 2-point. Well, you know, back when you played high school, you played basketball. You know how you cut the lead to 2, then go down the scores, 4-point
Hey,
lead.
Freezy, hold on, man. Hold on. I didn't mean to cut you, man. That dude, hey, tell Wacko, come on, drop the link so Wacko can come in this chat, man. That dude like calling my name, man. He like calling my name more than my kids do. You know what I mean? Tell him to come on in the chat. He's keeping my name in his mouth. You need to come on in the chat, man. Holler at me.
All right.
You know what I mean? Don't stay behind them fingers on that keyboard. Come on in the chat. There's an open forum, and you can tell me how you feel about the Knicks the way you stand. Don't talk about what everybody else saying.
Well, there's the invite right there. Yep. We got you.
Go ahead.
But what what I'm saying is to that point is the coaching staff can only do so much. Ultimately, basketball is 5-on-5. 5 of my best guys versus 5 of your best guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we need to get us a leader, and he doesn't necessarily have to be the point guard. And we saw that this year with Jimmy Butler leading a young Miami Heat team to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Like we saw that in a Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown leading a young Boston, and that Boston team is very young. Some of those players were younger than Jason Tatum, right? Leading them to the NBA Finals. With us, I think RJ Barrett at 21 is too young to be the leader of a franchise like the Knicks.
Yeah,
right?
They got to be like OKC or something like that, a small team like with not a lot of pressure.
Right, and Derrick Rose can't be the leader because he's not always there, and he's not a
vocal.
He's not a vocal leader like that. He's more of a cerebral leader.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kemba Walker is more of the rah-rah leader. Right? You know what I'm saying? And Taj Gibson is more of a
lead by example.
Yeah, lead by example type leader.
Hustle.
Right.
Haslam type.
Right. Yeah, but the old head of the group.
Right, but we don't have a Draymond Green type leader.
Yeah.
Draymond Green.
Right? We don't have that type of leader. Like somebody that's going to go to you and tell you what you're doing wrong right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in your face.
Like when RJ Bricken, somebody can tell him like, "Yo, bro, you trash today.
Stop shooting. Do something else."
Yeah. You're right. We don't have that, man.
You don't have a Marcus Smart
for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We really haven't had that for a long time. And shout out to Wacko, man. Hey, no disrespect. You know what I mean? Shout out to Wacko. You know, and I something he said, he spoke volumes. You know, you think about Tatum and Brown and them guys, man. Of course we know and Smart. That stuff didn't get built overnight. I mean, anybody looking at that team know how long it took them to get there. I think they made it to 3 conference finals, if I'm not mistaken, before they finally kicked in the door and came to the finals. So everything we know is a process. The problem is, though, when we talk about Tatum and Brown compared to what the Knicks have, the Knicks ain't drafted nothing close to Tatum and Brown in the last 10 years.
Well,
you know what I mean? So we got to look at that thing with a grain of salt. Boston knew what they had. That's why Boston didn't pull the trigger to trade neither one of them guys. You see what I'm saying? The Knicks up here, we still trying to figure out who we are, trying to find out who we are. You know what I mean? Is Julius Randle going to stay?
Hey, shout out everybody.
Been looking for a point guard forever. What's up, Soulfinger?
What's going on? I mean, cut y'all run. Keep rolling, run. I'll come in right behind you.
Oh, you good? You good, man? You good?
But,
you can go ahead. I just
shout
wanted
out.
to say that, but Wacko 100% correct, man. Ain't nothing built overnight, man. It takes time, and that's why when I look at that situation and I look at them numbers and them defensive teams that's in the playoffs, I got to look at Tibbs and I got to be objective, and I can't give him all the blame because, you know what I mean. A part of this game, man, as a fan, you sometimes you speak from an emotional standpoint, but when you address stuff, when you look at stuff and it's right there in your face, you can't sit there and say, nah, he ain't doing a good job. You lying and you hating. It's the same thing with players. When players playing good, you got to give them the credit, man. Same thing. That's why I say about Julius. He's the best player on this team, period. Do I like everything that Julius do? Absolutely not.
No.
You know what I mean? But I got to give him his credit. And when I look at these teams in the playoffs, man, every last one of them was very good defensive teams. And the ones that weren't, they went home real quick.
Right.
I.e. Brooklyn. First round knockout.
Right. And so what I'm saying is twofold, right? So if we use the Boston Celtics as an example, which I'm not ready to necessarily use them as the standard, because they ain't won nothing yet. When they beat Golden State, then I'll be ready to use them as a standard. Right. Right now, I think Golden State is the standard, right? Of how you build a championship team in today's NBA. And why do I use Golden State as a standard? Because they won championships, plural, then were injury prone, then were injured, recovered from injury, and now they're back with young players that contribute. Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, the point guard, Andrew Wiggins,
James Wiseman when he come back.
Yeah. Now they reloaded with young talent too. So now they have a balance of the old guard and the new guard at the same time. Now with the Knicks, it's as simple as this. The Knicks need an on-the-floor leader. And I know that's a weird way. Point guard of the future is a weird way to go into this. But I think over the course of these last few years, when we've been talking about the Knicks need a point guard, we've been disguising point guard of the future, or we've been disguising on-the-floor leader under the veil of point guard of the future. You feel me? Like we know we need a point guard, right? But I think ultimately what we've been describing this whole time is a on-the-floor leader, right? Mm-hmm. And I am here to tell you, I don't believe that Julius Randle is it. Now, I love Randle. Y'all know, come on, man.
I know you do.
Come on, man. Come on. Y'all know I love Julius Randle, right? I'm not hiding that fact, right? But with this group, I don't know if he can lead this group. Because for one, this group is flawed. And for two, it's too much pressure for a guy like Randle to do in New York City, where both sides, the fan base and Randle, already have had some outlandish stuff going on. Right? I think it may be time to maybe move on from Randle because he's a good NBA player. I just don't think that he's going to be the right guy for this. Now, when you say that, you have to pick a replacement. Are you ready to say a 21-year-old RJ Barrett is ready to lead this team? I don't think so.
No.
No, and I'll say this. I say this. No and yes. Because I just seen something recently, might have been this morning or last night. I seen a picture with him and Carlos Boozer and AJ Griffin, and I'm looking like, oh, they got him out there scouting now. Because you see, AJ Griffin come from Duke. I'm like, oh, they might be talking about this your team now. We're gonna go through you. Everything is you. So he might come back with that confidence of like, oh yeah, this is my team. I'm not taking the step I'm not taking a seat back behind you, Randall, no more. We seen what you could do as a leader. It ain't working. It's my time. So that might give him confidence if they got him out there with draft picks, future draft pick players, like lottery players, taking pictures and whatever the case may be.
Right.
And may give him the confidence to come in and be like, this is my team now.
I tell you this, Rivera, with Julius and RJ, I'm gonna tell you, it can work. It's all about Julius adjusting his thinking. You know what I mean? He can't be thinking, okay, this is my team. Because sometimes when people get paid money can skew your thinking. You know what I mean? So with that being said, Julius Randle is more of a solid 2. And that's why I don't want to go too far off subject, but I think the perfect place for him would be Dallas with Luka. Perfect. They need a bona fide number 2 over there. That's why they got knocked out. But on this team, Julius Randle could be the number 2. RJ could eventually be the number 1, but RJ got to get in that free throw lab, and he got to get consistent with that jump shot. And y'all know I coined that phrase, "Don't talk to me about trading RJ."
Right.
So would you trade Randle for that number 7 pick?
I'm still on that move. I'm not just gonna get rid of RJ. You know what I mean? Or any of these players, man. Because really, at this point, when you look at this team, we need to really just let this thing continue to cook, man. Don't keep skipping steps. And I've seen enough of that, man. Even at my age, man, I'm like, you know what I mean? I know I ain't getting no younger. The last time we won a championship was the year I was born. You know what I mean? But I know why we've been in this problem for so long and been laughed at by the league and others. It's because of us doing things the wrong way, man, for so long. So we just need to be patient, man. I'm gonna be a proponent of being patient, man.
So would you trade that? Would you trade Randle for that 7th pick so he could be the number 2 to Dame and be his counterpart versus, and then we'll just get the 7th pick and then try to get the draft pick there?
No. See, the problem with that 7th pick, ain't gonna guarantee me getting one of them top 3 guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because will Shady Sharp or will Ivy make it to number 7? I doubt it.
I doubt it because I think if he slides to Detroit, then that backcourt of Cade and Ivy will be dangerous.
Yeah, even Johnny Bryant may not even make it to 7. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do it in that fact. I'll just go ahead and rock out with Julius for another year. Because let's face it, if Julius wouldn't have did all them antics, and he had the
Ron, you keep saying Johnny Bryant, bro.
I keep saying Johnny Bryant.
Johnny Davis.
I keep Johnny Bryant on the brain.
Johnny Davis, right?
Johnny Davis.
Johnny
gonna be hard to slide
down.
That's
Johnny
why.
Davis might slide down.
But if you look at it, if Julius Randle, I'm telling you right now, if Julius Randle would have came back this season, he gave it a 20, 10, and 5. He didn't do all that garbage on the court and messing with the guys on the bench. You know, I would be, and automatically that thumb down thing killed it too. But other than that, man, I wouldn't have been that man.
But when you run, wouldn't you say that's poor leadership?
It really falls on the coach more so than him, because when you realize, Freezer, you've been in the military just like me, man.
Right.
And you know, when them platoon sergeants see stuff ain't going right, they gonna address that thing. They ain't gonna let that thing.
Right
there. What happened is that thing
shut it down,
smoldering, and then it exploded in the Knicks' face.
Hey, Ron, can I touch on real quick what you said? You said platoon sergeant, but just militarily speaking, it's supposed to be small unit leadership, right?
Exactly.
Before it even get to the platoon sergeant, it should have gotten handled somebody on the floor. Right. So before they could do that, so somebody should have pulled them to the side. I don't care who it is. You don't have to make the most money to be a leader or whatever else.
Right.
So somebody should have put them to the side. But I mean, not a but however, the cats that would have done that were gone. I really think they got moved out of there. I could see a Bullock pulling them to the side because that was his guy. Bullock rock with him. So Bullock would have probably gone up to him. Those antics got him in the hot water that he's in with everybody. Hit the shot. A lot of the shots he threw up last season didn't fall this season. He still pretty much did some of the same thing, and the frustration, whatever else. And it's just a like I said, it was a perfect storm for a bunch of chaos. You didn't give him the free agents he thought he was gonna have to help him out. Like I said, I always think about Black Panther when Panther was down. And he looked at him and said, "Is this your king?" He's looking at them. Are these my free agents? Are these the free agents you bringing in?
Right.
So because it didn't go that way. So it was just a few. It's a lot of blame to go around. And the only thing I'm saying, but my thing is considering they had they took that the season prior, it wasn't even a step. Man, they took leaps forward.
Right.
Now this season they've taken a couple of steps back. Because we got caught up into it. Because a lot of us got caught up. I admit I did, because I was looking at got to build upon what we did. Wasn't expecting us to have this big of a step back. I look for us to make moves. You learn from your mistakes. They see the mistakes they made this season. So I'm looking for Leon, and I agree with a lot of what everybody's saying with the whole marriage of Leon and Tibbs. And then as far as the culture goes. We know Tibbs is not going to be the coach going into the future to head us to a championship. He's the foundation builder. You're going to have to rock with a coach with those same kind of philosophies, and then bring in a young player that can continue on with that. A defensive-minded young players. Period. As far as what Boston was, you saw Boston try to change up the recipe and accelerate everything by bringing in this cat, bringing in that cat, and you saw how it didn't work. Gordon Hayward, what happened? They brought in, it was such a big hoodoo about that. What happened with that? Didn't work. You had you brought in Kyrie, and the way it went down. First Kyrie, then you bring in Gordon Hayward. So you can put in too many ingredients and kill the flavor of your food. So what they got now with the young talent that they have, with that one grizzled vet as an Al Horford,
went back and got him. They went back
and got. So you had to go back and look at what was working and get that same style of player. For us, we got to look at what's going on. We haven't had anything to go that way yet.
Right.
We got the young talent. I mean, we got talent, but I got to agree with a lot of people that put in the chat before. We don't have that talent. There's a difference having talent and having that kind of talent. We've got talent. We got good pieces. We do have good pieces. In time, they can develop over time. They can continue to develop and grow. But we don't have that guy that you could point and say, "Ooh, there go that man again." We don't have that guy on this team yet.
No, we still searching for that go-to guy. We still searching.
But the thing is I would say that on this, you just got to let them grow, because you know what, somebody could grow. Some of these cats, a lot of cats are late bloomers. So
yeah.
Just got to keep moving, but don't do anything out of desperation, knee jerk, blow up, throw out the pot of gumbo because your roux wasn't thick enough. Just add a little bit more, little more flour to that joke and thicken it up. That's all.
Yeah, let that thing simmer.
Now, hey, how you doing, fellas, man? Appreciate it. Nice seeing you, Ron. Nice seeing you, Freezy, of course.
Mr. Lee was good.
Mr. Cully, how you doing? Because I chime into you in the evening sometime. But you know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all something, man. All right, now we are talking about keeping this young core together, which I totally agree, and that's a fact. But now we're talking about leadership. Let me tell you something. We got a leader, and I posted it in there in the chat. Yo, y'all sleeping on RJ, man. Y'all sleeping on him. You sleeping. You don't not think he's gonna develop into the leader that boy is capable. Number one, no dummies go to Duke.
But Mr. Lee, that's not what I said.
Oh,
I just
well,
said,
no.
I said he ain't ready. He's 21.
What makes you think? Hey, yo, 21-year-old lieutenants go into battle every day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he has to learn on the fly. Unfortunately, but that does not take away from the fact that he's a leader. Right now, he's the leader by example. Right now.
Oh, he's the leader by default. He's the leader by default, definitely.
Okay, whether you agree to disagree or agree with me or not, but this is my opinion, and what I'm feeling is that next year, especially with Randle, Randle's going to Portland. That's going to happen. I'm speaking into fruition. I know it's going to happen. It makes too much sense for it not to happen.
Right.
Real talk. Why wouldn't Dame Dollar want somebody who can score like him, 20 and 10? You know what I'm saying? To ride with him.
Bonafide number 2.
Exactly. Takes the pressure off of him, off of Randle, and puts him in a situation where he can thrive. Because if he fails, it's not all on him. The one thing that Randall could not deal with was the New York media. He almost cracked the first year. The second year, we had the bubble. The media couldn't get on top of him like they wanted to, and it's like playing. It's like playing. We played like that whole season was a pickup game. That whole season, all right. They couldn't get to his flaws like that. You know what I'm saying? And we as Knicks fans, we didn't really pinpoint the flaws like that because why? He did a great job. We were winning. You know what I'm saying? But my point to you is this: RJ is the leader. Hey, Deuce McBride and my man Quick, they're gonna be battling out for a point guard. I'm trying to tell you that number 7 pick is gonna be your man Matherin. I
And
promise
Matherin,
you,
yes, sir.
it's gonna be Matherin. It's gonna be Matherin, and that's gonna be the kid who's gonna develop and play right next to RJ. They're both Canadian. They're cool as hell. You understand what I'm saying?
They gotta get Matherin, yo. They have
We're
to.
gonna get Matherin. We're going to. I feel it in my bones. Just like I knew we
I
were
feel
gonna get
it too, low
Obi.
key. Low key, I feel it too.
Well, the only thing, Corey, with your take on that though, man, is what they reporting heavy too, man, is New York getting that 4th pick and going for Ivy. They
I mean, hey,
heavy.
listen. I could care. Hey, either or. I would take either or.
Word.
I mean,
Either or.
Ivy is the needle maker. He's the needle maker.
He's the one that. But what I don't want to hear if we get Ivy is RJ better watch out. Just let them play together. Because I know Knicks fans.
Like
I know Knicks fans. They be like, oh, because you see how when Grimes started coming up a little bit, it be like, oh, RJ better watch his back. It's always something. It's like, bro, they can coexist. They can coexist. Let them be the two guys to carry over.
But let me just say something real quick. I just want to interject something real quick. I'll let y'all get back to it. I just want to establish 2 things. For one, the number 7 pick is not enough for Julius Randle. You don't trade an all-star for the number 7 pick in a weak draft. Even if you want to get
it'll be more. It'll be
hold on, wait a minute. Even if you want to get rid of his contract, you don't just give away all-star talent. Secondly, we talk about Randall's contract as if it's an albatross. Julius Randle is making $26 million. The dude got an $8 million raise. Julius Randle is not making $45 million.
The contract.
He making 26 next year, or what? 26 something, whatever. With incentives, it might be more, right?
Getting ready to go up.
Yeah. And so the dude's contract, Randall's contract, is not one of those. It's not like Russell Westbrook's deal right now, where it's like for you almost $40 something million. It ain't that, right? Randle is a former All-Star on a reasonably good contract for a number 2 option, because number 2 options right now make $30 million. Randle's making 26. So if you trade that to Portland has to give you more than just a 7 pick.
Exactly.
Right? So if y'all say trade if Randle is going to Portland, we got to have this conversation about what else.
Okay, then. I agree.
Hold
on a second. Can I say something? I'm gonna tell you right now. They got 2 contracts in Portland they trying to get rid of right now. Justin Winslow and your man. You just mentioned his name earlier. I forgot. The guard. There's the light skin point. I mean, light skin guard. Not him. What's my man? Not Simons. No, not the young cat. He's the old head.
Not CJ, Bledsoe. He's gone already.
Bledsoe, yeah, exactly.
Bledsoe.
Listen, we're gonna take them 2 contracts. You know what we're gonna do?
Sure,
we're gonna buy them out. Them out. Now we're gonna create our cap space back again. You understand what I'm saying? That makes perfect sense. We get the 7 pick, we get him, and we move on. And I'm trying to tell you, listen, Benedict Mathurin is the real deal. Ivy, I like him, he's dope. Everybody compares him to Ja and this and that. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But the young man, Mathurin, he reminds me of somebody from back home, Brooklyn, somebody from Rucker. For a Canadian kid, he got bake in him. He got a stroke on him. He ain't scared to go to the hole. You understand what I'm saying? He's the perfect wing. And we always talking about what's the one thing this league got right now? Wings. You understand what I'm saying? We got point guards. We got point guards. Yo, listen, I'm trying to tell you, Tibbs ain't got no choice but to play these young boys right here quickly, and my man Deuce. He ain't got no choice to play them.
Corey, you got
tell
me
you
thinking.
one
You know,
thing.
you know what you got me thinking about. But by you saying that, if they go that route, I guarantee you, Derrick Rose ain't going nowhere.
Oh no, heck no.
No.
Derrick Rose will
That's
not
the
go anywhere.
mentor. That's the mentor. That's the teacher for the point guards.
Derrick Rose
Why?
and Todd's gonna be on the bench with Thibodeau in 3 years. They're gonna be right on the bench with him.
Looking like Udonis Haslem. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be in the suit. They ain't
I
going
see
nowhere from
I
Tibbs.
see my man in the chat. G. Robinson said to your point, Corey, that you get the 7th pick and Nurkic for
I don't
Julius
know about
Randle.
Nurkic because Nurkic is
Man,
always
come on,
hurt.
man. Come on,
He
man.
always
Come on,
hurt.
man. Nah, man. We not because listen, because
one thing though.
see, because what everybody fails to realize is that everybody's talking about we go to number 11, we draft one of them centers and stuff like that. Let me tell you something on some real talk. Mitchell Robinson's re-signing with the Knicks because every team that he's interested can't afford him. Every team that he might be thinking about, they can't afford him. We're the only people to give him that bread. We're the only people to give him that bread.
Only team you got to
Real
worry about
talk.
is Detroit. They got the money, but we'll see which way they go. That's the
Man, he
only
ain't
team
going
that
to.
could.
He's not going to Detroit. He's not going to Detroit.
Oh no, I'm not
Detroit,
saying it would,
Detroit
but I'm
can
talking
afford
about
him
money
too, more, and
wise.
they need a
Money
center.
wise, Detroit got the money. It's all going to come
Yeah,
down to how much he wants to, what he wants to do. You know, he's putting out he want to come back. But
It
you want
ain't
to talk
just
about
about the
money?
money; it's
Detroit,
about
the
the playing
only team.
style too.
Yeah, but he from New Orleans. He ain't trying to be up in that cold all the time. New York get cold, but we be all right. I mean,
yeah.
Detroit cold
Fact.
all the time. He ain't trying to go there. But I'll tell you one thing about Randle. If he go to Portland, I guarantee you he set screens for Dame. He don't like setting screens here, but I bet you he'll set screens for Dame all day.
I bet you because they're gonna throw that as like a restructure his contract and put that
Yeah,
I'm
in
gonna
there
tell
as
you like this:
because
expensive.
if
he
he
can
ends
set
up in
screens for
Portland,
RJ.
going back to the playoffs. Book it.
Now, can I say something real quick about Cully? What he really said? You said that RJ is lieutenant, right?
Right now he is the de facto.
All right. So if you happy with the product of RJ right now, and not because remember, a lieutenant is not a captain. It will never be let's say close to a captain. A captain cannot be a colonel, and a colonel will never become closer to a general. That's why you have infrastructure in that way, because there's more experience to it. So it's not saying that RJ cannot become a general, but he needs that experience. He needs somebody to mentor him. In order, if you want to see, let's say, a finished product, somebody that could pull him aside, like if there's one thing that I like about Butler is that whenever he goes against the Knicks, he always pull RJ on the side and tells him what he's doing wrong, what he could do better. That's what RJ actually needs, because the thing is that the only way that RJ right now is learning is through experience on his own. It's not from somebody else that has a better eyesight telling him something else he could do better. And he might even miss it. And the only way that he could get to it, it might be 20 games further on, 40 games further on.
Yeah, I like that point because I remember the game one time that Butler blocked him, and he was like, "I've seen him at the free throw line." He's like, "If you would have put your shoulder into me, I wouldn't have blocked it."
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now, can I say something? Now, you asked me a question, or you referenced something to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say this. Why is Derrick Rose on the team? Ain't he the leader? Didn't he lead the team to the playoffs?
Well,
wasn't he the guy? Wasn't he an MVP?
He on the team because Tibbs feel bad. He on the team because Tibbs feel bad. He owe him that.
Rose was brought in to stabilize that point guard.
He do owe him that. He owe him that.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Hold on a second. Let me hold up. I got a point to
four different franchises Derrick Rose was on that made that move, bro. People forget about the Cleveland years.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose, you know what I'm saying?
They ran him up out of Cleveland.
Hold on a second. Man, y'all, I mean, for real. Now, I'm gonna disagree with you, young man, but just to the simple fact that y'all sleeping on this man just because he's not a vocal leader to everybody else. Don't you think he's been a star? He's been an all-star. He's a future
No,
Hall of Famer.
no,
But
no,
you
no,
know what though,
no, not
Corey? If you
yet.
think
Derrick
about it, but I
Rose.
No,
I
I'm
hear what
talking
you're
about.
saying.
I thought that you were saying RJ Barrett. I'm like,
I'm,
not
talk, I'm
yet.
talking about. I'm talking. No, no. I'm talking about. He's the one who's gonna help this young man. You
All
don't
right,
think he's gonna do that? Why do
NBA,
you think Tim's has him there?
But
It ain't for
NBA.
looks and feel like he owe him. That's crazy.
Let me say
but you
something.
know what? Every team does need a vocal leader.
Yeah,
Somebody got to be vocal. Everybody
yeah,
can't be quiet.
And
Somebody has to
whoa,
step up when things ain't
and
going right and snatch somebody.
why do people think because they haven't seen it already that RJ Barrett can't be rah-rah?
Yeah, he might come
Y'all
back like
sleeping.
that though. He
Y'all
might
sleep
come
on
back
Well,
him.
you
like
know
that.
what though, Corey? Think about it. How long RJ been playing organized basketball?
Forever.
What, 10 years?
And typically, what you are once you get to this point, man, this is who you are.
yeah.
You gotta trust.
Okay,
You
then.
gotta
No,
trust a
no,
player when they show you who they are. That's who they are. It's the same thing for me. I love RJ, but my problem with RJ right now is that free throw line, and that's the same thing he been
oh,
having
nah,
problems.
and that's
And
an
Duke,
easy fix, man. That's an easy fix.
it can't be that easy. We had 3, and
And
he still
yeah,
I
having a
mean,
problem with it.
hey, bro, these are people who struggled at the line for years and finally got good after a period of
And a
time.
lot of them don't.
a
Okay,
lot
then,
of
but
them don't.
well, I'll tell you like this. I'd rather think the better than the worst. I'm gonna give him the most positive energy I can give him
And
as
I
far as that
love
goes.
RJ, man. I love him. I ain't gonna even front.
And y'all can
But
sit back. Y'all can
he
sit
ain't
back and
ready yet.
laugh at me because
No, I ain't
this
gonna
man
do
is.
that.
No, no, no. What I'm saying, this young man has shown me the steps that he's made. And Freezy was the one who put us all onto him.
Yeah, he
And to
showed
see
it.
him, and Freezy was the one also too. And was he a vocal leader then, Freezy? Did you see him will that team back?
Yeah, RJ was doing his thing since he was young.
That's my point. So why can't he do it now? He made it to the league. It ain't but a couple of steps. And I honestly feel like this, and y'all gonna laugh at me, and it's cool, and I'm good at getting laughed at. That man's gonna be better than Jimmy Butler. Give
Yeah,
him some time.
I
Give
think
him
so.
some time.
But Mr. Lee, listen, check me out. Jay Boogie, how you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Keep rocking. Y'all
You know,
cooking.
here's the thing that me and Mr. Lee are not on the same page on, and we want to be on the same page, but we're not there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I'm getting at, Lee, this is the thing I'm getting at right here, right? The Knicks are not your average franchise,
Right
right?
about that.
Of course not.
And New York City is not like. I'll give you an example. The two teams in the finals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland, California is not like New York City.
Nope.
Boston, Massachusetts is not like New York City. Boston is a grinder, but Boston is a small city. People think Boston is a big city. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
But their passion is insatiable. Just imagine you put Boston and Philadelphia together times 10. That's New York City, right? And so what I'm getting at is not that RJ can't lead a franchise, but what I'm saying, our franchise is different than everybody else, right? The pressure
Okay.
here is unlike the pressure any other place. And to ask a 21-year-old to be the leader of that is asking a lot of a 21-year-old. Now, if he does it, of course, do I want RJ to be that? Of course. But asking him to do that right now under these circumstances, maybe by himself, I don't know if he's ready.
I'm gonna tell you this:
Listen.
you got a better
Hold on a
chance
second.
of quickly being your vocal leader than RJ.
Yeah,
Possibly.
You
But can
got
I
a
say
better
this though?
chance of that happening because you're ready to see quickly or pull them guys to the side and be talking.
oh yeah, and especially with Obi. If you see both of them, the way that they connect is lovely. Like, remember one thing, like I see that RJ has potential. I see that RJ is gonna get far, but in order for him to get even further, he needs somebody to always be that guy in the team. Like right now, this like remember like your question about Derrick Rose. Think about it this way: the NBA every year keep on changing. What we needed back then is not necessarily the same fact that it's going to come to be that's the same thing that we're going to need now. So at that moment when we got Derrick Rose, that's what we needed. Now we need something else. It's not about Derrick Rose. It's not always about RJ, because remember, the game keeps on evolving to a next step, a next step even further on. RJ, people might even figure him out in the in the near future. And then after that, it's like if he doesn't adjust and keeps on bringing to the table the same old two-step that he keeps on getting figured out, guess what? He's not going to keep on evolving. That goes for every player. It does not go only for RJ. It goes for everybody else. Everybody has to have the capability of adjusting.
Okay, then, and he's done that. I think he's done that to some degree. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, Freezy,
Yo,
that young man said he wants to be a Knick. The last time I was on here, I told you that he said it. Everybody told him, like,
but we
when
knew
it was
that
like,
though.
oh, yeah, exactly. So why wouldn't he want to be the leader? He already knows what the circumstances are with us. You understand what I'm saying? He's already rode shotgun to somebody who took the load off him. Now he's ready to take the keys from that man and move on.
But listen, but wanting to be the leader and being able to be that are two different things.
I
That's
agree.
what,
No,
that's what I'm getting at.
no. I get that, but everybody's saying that there's question marks. Question marks. Of course, there's question marks, but we still got a whole season to come right now before we even can say or stamp it or say, "Yo, yeah, all right, he really can't do it." You know what I'm saying? If we get rid of Randall and let this young man cook by himself, I promise you, it's gonna be ugly, but it's gonna be a beautiful thing. And at the end, you know
At
what I'm
the
saying?
end,
Listen, listen to what I mean by that. Yo, Steph and them had to take their lumps because that's the comparison you're using. They brewed up that team from their core, from Draymond, Clay, and him. Okay,
right,
cool. Boston, same thing. Marcus Smart, Tatum, and Jalen Brown. They brewed them up. You know what I'm saying? By themselves, it came up. And like you just said, what do we try to do? We try to do the same thing. We try to add funky little pieces that didn't add. You know what I'm saying? We putting squares in a circle. You understand what I'm saying? And it didn't work
right.
out for us. You know what I'm saying? Our coach was like, you know what I'm saying? This and that. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, another piece of trade bait we got. Unfortunately, is my man, his partner from Duke. You know what I'm saying? He can't stay healthy. You can package him up, him and Nerlens Noel, and send them on their way. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, getting back to my point, RJ Barrett, I think he's built for the city. Ain't nobody,
Okay,
ain't nobody built to try to, nobody's trying to come here. There ain't nobody beat down the door to get here. You
right.
know what I'm saying? I'm
So
from the
I
city.
got a question for you, Corey. I got a
Yes,
question for
sir.
you, right? Because we know a person becoming a leader, and you don't become a leader because you say I'm the leader.
Yeah.
No, you learn
Normally
from following
your players on your team let you know that you are the leader, right?
Right.
And it's
to some
because of your
degree,
game.
yeah.
And it's because of your game. So when you look at these players on this team, who game you think speaks the most to saying that they are the leader or can be the leader? And I'm gonna tell you who I think it is. Some of y'all are gonna be shocked. And I told y'all that you know where I'm
If,
going
if
at. And I said
if
this,
you say Obi, I'm a faint.
uh. And I said this, this person, I'm gonna give you a hint. I said this person was starting to make me a believer. And I brought his name up earlier. Emmanuel Quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Game
Right.
took the biggest jump on this
Yep.
team.
Yep.
At the most critical position, point guard. And typically
And
your
that,
point guard are normally your leaders.
So it took a big jump at the end though, because all
But
majority
still,
that's
regardless, it took it.
85% of the season it was
Hey,
garbage.
but guess what? Guess what I know I can get from Quickly that I can count on every night.
Confidence, leadership.
Yeah.
I know the confidence ain't gonna be lacking. I know he gonna go through that free throw line and
And knock
he
down them
gonna be
free
in the
throws.
top echelon of that free throw line. And
Right.
I know another thing about Quickly. I know when he take that 3-point shot, I can pretty much bank on it going in. When Quickly miss a three, I'm in shock.
I'll say this though about RJ. I'll say I'll give you an example. Like how many times like you talk to your kids, but some of them are knuckleheads, and it's like I'm gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna talk to you no more. And I use Randall as the knucklehead that you don't want to listen because if you see RJ with the young guys, he always tell them come here, and get them in a huddle and all that, and he starts to speak. I think the young guys look to him. I think it's the veterans that don't really want to listen because like they got that chip on the shoulder. Like, boy, you 21. Why? What you telling me?
Hey, I think it's a point. I think you got a point there now.
It's not the same as when you hear Obi, like he mentions RJ, but when you see Obi mentioning IQ, it's like he has something special. When you see even other player mentioning
Damian Lillard
IQ, there we go. Even Taj Gibson, he gives praise not to RJ, he gives praise to what's his name, Sims. You could see that everybody has connection for a certain individual. But when you see Obi speaking about IQ, he didn't said, well, RJ is the leader. No, he said Emmanuel Quickly is like he has the I forgot how he said it, but he said like he's the leader.
I get that, but guess what? IQ the one that passed him the ball. That's why he's so hype about him. He the only one that passed him the ball. So of course he's gonna be like, yeah,
he's making the right read because the thing is,
I know. It's just funny.
With Obi, I have two plays in mind. I have Obi and I have Mitchell Robinson. When you have them on the floor, you need to know how to utilize them. And Quickly, if you notice, if it's not Quickly, most likely is what's his name, the short guy, the one that be running the point beside Quickly.
Deuce.
No. He the OCAT. He was here 2 years, like a year. Alex Bullock, Alex Burke. So you see him setting Mitch up. He's trying to get him involved. Same thing goes for Quickly. RJ is I don't know, like he's giving me vibes that I look more about myself getting those points. I'm not saying that that's who he who he's always going to be set in stone, but for what I'm seeing right now, it's like if he's going off on being a 20-point average player for the end of the year and he's 19, he's going to make sure he's 22, 23 so that he could fall in that category. I don't like that. I like the players that if they're going for 20 or whatever, but they seeing that their shot is not going in, I'd rather pass the ball because I'm not going to end up costing the game for the entire team.
Nice. What about this is the thing that I'm getting at. I'm gonna just give you an example, right? Just give us an example to go by, right? So the Knicks are on a 4-game losing streak, right? And we start our road trip in Houston, Texas against the worst team in the NBA. And then we go to Houston and we lose by 20, right? Who are you going to stick in front of the microphone to speak for this young bunch of kids? Is RJ Barrett
putting Julius there?
Is RJ Barrett ready to go and to go get in front of the microphone and speak for the team after they extended their losing streak to 5 games by losing to the worst franchise in the NBA? Is RJ Barrett that guy?
I've seen him do it. All this year.
Yeah, he don't
say all the right things.
He don't duck the media.
I don't. When it comes to players like that, if they haven't shown me something like a Ja Morant or that dude that plays for Minnesota, like you still haven't given me nothing. So I want you guys to focus more on the game, build more, get that experience, be like Tatum or something, like even remember one thing. Last year, it was between Tatum and Brown being their number one, but Boston wasn't hesitant on trading either one because they did not see something clicking. We got to stop being forcefully that we want to see this team progress with every play that we see with them, because at the same time, maybe there's an individual that is not helping others. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Quickly, it doesn't matter if it's Obi, RJ, or whatever. If it's not working out, be mindful that, hey, if it's not working out, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Nice to your point. All we got to do, man, just sit back and be patient, man. Let this thing play out.
Yeah.
Let this thing play out, man. And I got to give Quickly another dose of something that I didn't think he was going to be able to do too. Quickly is a really good defender too. That's another thing about him. He don't cheat you playing defense neither.
He's getting better. He's
undersized. He's undersized, but he plays very good defense.
I'll
Hey,
say
no.
this though. I'll say this about
Also
RJ.
gets more involved when quickly has the ball. It's not as slow far as getting us into our offensive set. When quickly
Exactly.
has the ball. It's a big difference from what quickly does and what anybody else does. I want to send a shout out to y'all, man. Great, man. I also want to send a special shout out to all my military podcast guys. Y'all guys been doing an amazing job throughout, you know what I'm saying, throughout the world. Same way as y'all been doing amongst the podcasts. Y'all military guys, I know who y'all are, Freezy, Man, Sergeant Nick, some more. If there's some more y'all out there, you know, been in the military that I haven't called out, my bad, but much love and respect to all y'all. Everybody in the chat, everybody rocking the orange and blue. But it's I hear a lot of things going on, a lot of talk being talked around RJ. The talking is over with. You want this position, you ask for it, you in it.
Yep.
You got your effort and your chance right now. Coming into the season, ain't no more excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about how old you are, none of that no more. You need to come in here and handle your business. You know what I'm saying? All that. There's a different type pressure that he's under now because it's facing him than what he was, and it wasn't facing him. You know, RJ is in his position by force. If Julius Randle if he doesn't even have the attitude that he has last year, RJ is not the number one of this team. But now he's the number one by force. So you need to turn your game all the way up in all phases. And being a leader is being able to do something for a team that the team doesn't have, even if it's not a part of your game. You got to step out your game and do all types of things that involves around leading. If it means you got to be vocal, you have to be vocal. You have to do everything it is in basketball when you become a leader. There is no shortcuts. You have to have all answers to all questions, even when a question ain't meant for you. You have to be able to have the answers. You have to just be that leader on that court, off that court. Can you call somebody in the morning and see how they doing this morning and make sure they up and ready to go? And then when they get to the game, go back and check with them and make sure they feeling the same way, if not feeling better than when you called them this morning. All types of things involved with being a leader. And RJ, you in that position now, I need to see, because I know you're up for this money, but I don't see me being able to give you this max contract yet. And I got to wait and see how this season going to play out for me to give you this money. But you need to hit all phases of this game, you know what I'm saying? And let us know that you're in position to have received not only what the organization wanted to give you, but also what everybody around the league and dealing with the New York Knicks is saying that who you are. You're the leader of this team. I need to see it. I need to see it, RJ. I'm calling RJ out. I need to see it. I don't care nothing about you playing in Canada. None of that. I need to see you perform against these guys, you know what I'm saying, in this league. And let's start with the 25 other guys that got you out of that list. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you something else. It's a guy over there, and two guys over there in Miami, even though they got eliminated. Strauss and Vincent. Them guys went undrafted. They were starting in the backcourt until Lowry came back. And when Lowry came back, one of them was still starting. So I don't care nothing about your names and everything. Can you get on that floor? Can you rock? Can you turn up for 48 minutes? I need to see it. I got a lot of questions I want to see RJ answer come this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna feed into his name because he's next up the bat. No, you need to bring them runs in. If you're gonna play clean up, bring them runs in. I need when the first man, second man, third man get on base and the base is loaded, I need you to bring them runs in, man. That's what I need from RJ, man.
Love it.
Yo, you wanna coach the Knicks? I think we need that. He need one of those type people. We need a leader like that. That just made me want to go outside and work out. Made me feel like I ain't doing enough.
Yeah, you think about it. We don't have that on this team, man. And it's been a long time since we had that.
Yep.
Matter of fact, one could argue the last time we had a player like that was Rasheed Wallace.
Yep.
Word. And he was 87.
Exactly. Ironically, on that same team with Jason Kidd.
Kurt Thomas was on that team, too.
Kurt Thomas was on that team
and
as
Marcus
well.
Camby was on the team.
Marcus Camby was on that squad.
Yeah.
It was somebody else that was older.
That's the start of mine. Melo. That was
Tyson Chandler was on
Tyson
there.
Chandler. Yeah.
Melo was a different kind of leader.
Again, but
but we need somebody vocal. I agree. But
somebody vocal.
I'm at this point, man. I'm on the train of I'm gonna be patient and I'm gonna let these young fellas rock, man.
I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna let them rock, man, because I got a feeling still with IQ, man. The jump that kid took and the combination. See, we've never seen this where we got two guys that we look at and we're like, man, these two guys play great together in IQ and Obi.
Oh yeah.
You keep them two together, you got two pieces.
Facts. You know what, Ron? I'll tell you this though. I guarantee if let's say Randle do play next year and then Obi average about like 13 points, I guarantee you Randle's going because they're gonna be like, oh, let me see what he could do with 34, 35 minutes. Just let Obi always average 13 points. I guarantee you Randle's going.
But you know, we always talk about that. But I think it's a way you can still get them guys to be playing a bunch of minutes, man, and stagger their minutes that way. Because Obi really is a player that the longer he plays, the better his game is. It's like a running back. The more he touches the ball, the better he gets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to really run plays for Obi like that too much because he's gonna find a way to score. But Randle is really the key to this team, man, and it's crazy. But he is the key. He ain't, you know, he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm telling y'all, if we lose Randle, where we gonna find that 20, 10, and 5 at? Right now, everybody want to talk about RJ. RJ is a volume scorer.
Yeah.
Right now,
he's not efficient.
No, he's not.
So where we gonna get that constant 20 from?
The offense don't know what to do with Julius. They don't have a clue on what to do with Julius. They don't have an answer. And how they going about Julius is all the wrong way.
I think I agree with that 100%, J. Book. I don't know what they plan on doing with Randle.
First thing first, you got to play with Julius' mind frame because Julius got something that's bothering him mentally. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with his game. You know what I'm saying? You can't even tell me how many good guys it is in the league that put up his bad numbers this year. So it has nothing to do with his game. It has something to do with him mentally. So you want to play these mental games, I'm going to play mental games with you. This is what I would have done with Julius Randle off top. When they had the lottery, Julius would have been in the lottery instead of World Wide West. So you got to make Julius get comfortable and feel good about being with the team. So you know he want to come into the building feeling good as if it is his team. But in the mind frame, it's not your team. But you make him relax and comfortable. You go over there to the lottery, you represent the team. And then when you come in, you know what I'm saying, make him feel good. You need to get Julius stock all the way up. Forget this draft. You need to get his stock all the way up because the trade deadline comes and he's playing and he's up to par. Other teams going to be like, oh, Julius is back. See, right now, they don't know what they're going to get in Julius. So if you make Julius feel like he's back and he all the way, you know what I'm saying, he turned up, yo, New York, we here and all that there going on, and everybody's paying attention to his family and everything, trade him. That's what you do. Trade him. As soon as his stock rises. You can't trade that man with his stock down. That's like I said, that 7th pick, it ain't worth Julius. It's not worth it. You got to have more pieces to that, man. But the only way you get the right
Benedict Matthew.
Yeah, Benedict is not worth Julius Randle.
Listen, I just want Julius to come back with the right mindset. And I got one goal for Obi this year. Forget points, forget anything. Yo, please catch a body. With your athleticism, why you still ain't catch a body? Like, please catch a body.
Wait, who?
Obi.
He want a poster.
You want a poster? Come on, bro. He should be jumping over people. Like,
you want a poster? That's 20 of those.
Yeah, like, how many times you would think that he would have had a poster? Like, come on, bro. Like, you 6'9", 6'8", whatever. Like, he not frail. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, Obi get a poster, man. We gonna have to send that to you.
Yo, Obi get up there and then he'll switch and try to do a reverse layup. Why, bro? Why
you'll see one from Sims
guard
before you see it from Obi. You'll see like plenty from Sims.
Knox got a poster before him.
You know that I feel about Obi not catching the body is because due to the fact, if you notice, he be coming in too quick. He be coming in from the side. And it's like that ball bouncing. He be coming so quick that it doesn't give time for the defender to read somebody else is coming in. Mm-hmm. And that's why we don't see Obi catching a body. But hey, with everything that I'm seeing from Obi, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like
Go ahead, bro.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I want to see Obi in the pro-ams. Like, you know how everybody be playing in the summertime. I want to see him out there with those guys. Like, just to get better, because the way you get better is playing against the old heads. Because I know when I was coming up, I was playing against the old heads in the park, and they was beating me up until I got to the point where they couldn't beat me up no more. And I'm small. So if I could do it, I know Obi could go out there and play with the guys that's better than him. Just go, Go show what you got. Because RJ played last year. He played with those guys in the gyms last year. I want to see Obi out there. I want to see all of them. I want to see the whole young guys out there between RJ, Obi, quickly Grimes, against all of them. We got our 5. Whatever 5 y'all got, we playing against y'all.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Hey, somebody is having an audio issue. It's cracking when we all talk. So what I'm gonna ask is, if you don't have headphones, just pause yourself when you're not talking, and then that way it won't come through so bad while we speaking and stuff.
Sounds even better now.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, the Knicks. I think we're gonna be surprised as Knicks fans. This between now and the next season starts, we're gonna be very pleasantly surprised. I got a feeling they're gonna do something, man, because like I said, I mean, we all know this is a business. It ain't just about playing basketball. Them guys trying to win championships, man. And if you ain't trying to win no championship, you ain't no reason for you to be on this team. Ain't no need for you to be in the front office. And we know the way this season went, the whole team, the front office and everything has been embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's been an embarrassment. And if it wasn't for the mess that the Lakers and the Nets got going on, they would have been talking about how bad of a season the Knicks had. You know what I mean? So I think we're in for something special, man. I'm gonna just sit back and watch. I'm not formulating no more opinions right now. I'm just in the patient mode. I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see. And I'm waiting. Only thing I can do right now is just look at what we got on this roster and what they need to do. But I'm not gonna kill the coach no more. I ain't killing Leon. I didn't said enough about them. We all have said enough about them. But what we gonna do to make this team better? That's what we need to be on.
Yeah. To your point, Ron, the only thing I want to see next season is that between Leon Rose, Wesley, and Coach Thibodeau, both of them, Wesley and Leon Rose, they do a clean slate. Let's act like whatever happened last season did not happen. Now, Coach Thibodeau, let's get in the same page and let's get you what you actually want.
There you go.
Give us a list, and at least if we don't get you a number one, whatever player we get you along the lines is going to be one of those plays that at least would fall in part that you wanted, and somebody that we also saw that is more beneficial. So at least everybody's in sync, because that Leon Rose and Coach Thibodeau, if there's one thing I just don't like is that Leon Rose keeps on giving Coach Thibodeau the players that he doesn't want, and
yeah,
it's almost like a bitter ex-wife.
Draft. That's why.
I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because I like to be honest, I want to see this team succeed, but I want to see the obvious falls, you know, like who actually effed up. Was it Leon Rose? Was it Coach Thibodeau? Somebody that could actually call my attention. But what happened this season, I can't say, because Leon Rose did Coach Thibodeau dirty. Coach Thibodeau did the youngsters dirty, and it's like, man, this thing looks like a charade, like something bad happened, you know?
Yeah, man.
For me, I like Thibodeau. I like Thibodeau, right? But the problem is nobody's gonna make an improvement next year if the offense is the same. If it's the same scheme, ain't nobody gonna make an improvement because they got to put people in better positions. Yeah. If we want RJ efficiency to go up, he got to get better positions to get better shots. That little handoff thing with Mitch, it's so trash. Like, come on, bro. It's, like, what is that?
And then then RJ is not no 3. Like, that got to stop now too, man.
If you think about it, our offense for the last 2-3 years, man, everything's been a struggle. You know what I mean? It's a struggle. There's nothing that's really fluid. You know what I mean? And we saw it at times with them young guys when the ball was moving. We got to get back to ball movement. That's what basketball is about. It ain't about just holding the basketball and pounding the air. If you want to do that, go play 21 in the park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That ball needs to move. Everybody needs to be involved. Why Golden State? Where they at right now? Ball movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Golden State got Golden State. They've been running the same offense for 10 years, and it's beautiful. And no one has caught up. No one has caught up.
But it's hard for you to cash up when they doing pretty much everything right. It's like you don't deny Stephen Curry capability, but most likely if he is double teamed, Of course, you still see him shooting and making it, but he's the type of player that I'm not going to take a bad shot. That's another thing that is hitting us hard. That there's people in our team that they think that they are Steph Curry. They think they somebody elite taking these elite shot, and you double triple team when two other people is wide open.
Yeah.
Like you're not making the
Yeah.
right shot selection, man.
Yeah.
Basketball ain't hard, man. The players make it hard, man.
I keep
It's
do that
basic,
when he
it's
pulling
basic.
up for 40-foot 3-point shots. Sometimes.
It's basic, man. Move
I
that
seen
ball.
some. I
Let the
seen
ball
some
find
of
the
the
hot
fastest.
man. Keep it in the hot man hand. You see your man got. I see Boogie got it going tonight. We balling. Hey, I'm gonna keep feeding him till he throw up, and tell me I can't take no more.
Yeah, that's why
Seen
having
some of. Go ahead.
a good point guard is important. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's why that's
Mhm.
extremely important. That's some people look over that like that's not really a big deal in today's NBA. To me, it is, especially for the team that we have. You know, for sure. And y'all was talking about RJ and what he can improve on. I said this in Ron show. When I look at talent, like talent, unbridled talent, we're not gonna talk about production. We're not gonna talk about IQ. We're just gonna talk about talent and the skill set. When I look at talent, and y'all probably gonna get me for saying this, I look at dudes like Michael Beasley, J.R. Smith, who else? Jabari Parker. These dudes right here, when you look at them, you see that they have talent. It's just that it's either the injuries that hold them back or their mindset. RJ, on the other hand, the only thing he has for me is his intangibles. You know what I mean? Maybe his IQ or whatever. But as far as him having just like talent, I don't see it. But I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I'm definitely rooting for him. Like I want him to succeed. But let's be honest here. There's a lot of players out there that make the things he do. It comes way easier for them.
Yeah.
I just don't want us to get attached to RJ because, as again, I'm rooting for him. I like his mindset. We haven't had that in the Knicks in a long time. Somebody who has the type of focus RJ has, but unless he has that Jimmy Butler work ethic, which we don't know, or if he has that Kobe Bryant work ethic to where he's in the gym 25/8, I just don't know about RJ.
Yeah, but you get rid of RJ, that looks bad on the whole organization, though. It's a double-edged sword. Because if you get rid of RJ, then nobody ever want to come in. Ever. If you think you ain't getting nobody now, you ain't getting nobody later.
Right. Fact. This is what I want from RJ, man. And this is why Jimmy Butler is so deadly. Players like Jimmy Butler, they can't do a lot of things great, but they could do the basic things great.
Defend.
You know what I'm saying? If I could get RJ just to be able to make the mid-range and make free throws, his game can be a basic great player. You know, we can't look at him for him to be the oohs and ah dude. You can't look for him to take over the game and score 20 points in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
You can't look at RJ for those type things. And if we decide to look for him to do those type things, that's where we're going to fail RJ.
Oh, yeah.
Just need for him to do the basic, simple things, and they're going to stand out more than anything else because we don't have a player on this team that can do multiple things greatly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody only got one thing they can do. You know what I'm saying? But RJ can evolve his game a whole lot more if he can just do the basic things, straight. Like, for example, my homeboy PJ Tucker. He ain't got the greatest talent, but all the basic things that don't show up in the books, he doing great. The hustles, the take charges, the defense, the rebounds, and make free throws. It's the basic things that I need RJ to do. I don't look for him to be a 40% three-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to average 27 points. None of that. Just give me 20 points amongst the basics, and I'm all right with that, man. We just can't look for RJ to come and be the savior of the team. You just gotta let RJ game be RJ's game and not hope for him to do any more but the small things. And they'll stand out more than anything else.
Now, with that
That's a
said,
great
Jay Boogie.
point.
That's facts.
That's a
With
great
that
point.
said,
That's
Jay Boogie.
exactly what Jimmy Butler is.
Hold on a second. But that's what I'm. Hold on a second. I'm glad that you said that, Jay Boogie. Peace to you, guard. But I'm gonna say this. What I'm trying. That's what I've been preaching the whole time about RJ. He has the mental intangibles. But now everything that he's always progressed every season. Jimmy Butler was not looked at as a superstar or even an all-star player when he first got in the league. He could barely scratch playing time with Thibodeau in Chicago.
He came in as an elite defender, though.
Right. Okay, and RJ ain't no bum neither, because RJ he defends the best person on the floor for the Knicks.
Well,
let's stop sleeping.
One thing about RJ, and to Jay Boogie point, I used to say this in the Man show, and hey, salute to you, Ron. You know that is none.
Hey man, he man right there, man. Stop saying
I know. Hey,
20 years ago.
Hey, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Stop playing, Jay Boogie. All right, if there's one thing that I've always been consistent, and Jay Boogie and Ron, you know how I always said what I always said about RJ back in the old days. Last season, of course, I used to say something about RJ, and it was one thing that I used to love. Same thing as Julius. Every single time, who's number one? Who's number two? Hey, Julius Randle is doing his thing. Hey, but RJ's not shooting well. Hey, guess what? Even though he's not shooting well, boy is still defending.
Right.
Exactly.
This season,
And
I can't tell you the same. I can't say the same, bro. This season, if his shot wasn't going in, let me finish explaining, bro. If his shot wasn't going in, it wasn't like last season. This season, the way he was doing things is, I don't know if it's a mental thing or he needs to go back to the basic. If that's why I really wanted him to actually train more with Jimmy Butler or Patrick Beverly. That if his shot doesn't go in, because remember, it's a sport. Not everything is going to go 100% your way, but he got to be prepared that if his shot is not going in, what else I'm going to do to facilitate and guarantee at least make it more visible that we end up with a win. So RJ, he regressed this season. His shot wasn't going in that day. He wasn't playing well as defending. If you see it differently, I respect it. But just because I'm seeing it different, don't don't be criticizing.
I think that was a learning thing, though. I think that was a learning thing, like when to pick his shots, learn when to pass the ball. I think that we were so on him in the beginning of the season, like, damn, you still at 17 points a game, you still doing it. And then when Randle, wasn't playing as the number one, I think it forced him to take more shots, so it looked a little bit more selfish.
Right, exactly.
So I think that he was on the right path of going to that, but then once he got forced to be the number one, he had to take more shots, and it looked bad, but that's just a learning thing. I think now going into this season, if he's number one off rip, he coming in like, all right, I know when to get that shot off. I know when somebody's defending me here, I'm gonna pass to Obi, or I'm gonna pass to Randle, or whoever. I think that's just a learning. Everybody goes through that. Kobe had to go through it. Jordan had to go through it. Everybody had to learn when they're shooting too much or not shooting enough.
I tell you this about RJ, that I noticed when that switch happened, I was wondering. I was like, how is he gonna handle being the number one guy? And I saw where he was poised. I saw a lot of the same attributes that I saw when he was at Duke. You know what I mean? And one thing I must say that he improved on this year, and everybody knows it. That guy went right a lot this year and finished with that right hand.
Roger that.
So I got to give him that. This year he got asked to guard the best wing, and that ain't easy in this league, man. It ain't easy to be guarding the best man on the opposite team on that wing and then still be asked to score. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do it. That's why the guys that can do it, you respect them. You know what I mean? So with RJ got a lot of growing left to do, man. That's why I say, don't talk to me about trading RJ.
Never. Not yet.
Hey, yeah, let me jump in here right quick. I just want to ask y'all a question real quick. Right? At the same stage of their career, what kind of production was Jimmy Butler producing when he was R.J. Barrett age?
I don't think he was
I don't
producing as
think he.
much.
I don't think he was.
He wasn't
really
even
doing
playing.
much.
I think.
He
Yeah.
wasn't even
No, he
right.
definitely
You're
was
exactly
playing.
right.
Yeah.
At
But
RJ's
nah.
age, Jimmy Butler was still at Marquette.
Exactly.
So basically, what I'm getting at is Jimmy Butler first 3 years. Jimmy Butler in his first year averaged 2.6 points a game. Second year, 8.6. Third year, 13.1. Jimmy Butler
Wow.
didn't become Jimmy Butler until his fourth season, and he was 25 years old.
What?
Right? So what I'm saying is the Jimmy Butler RJ Barrett thing, in my opinion, is a stretch, because if everything goes right for RJ, like everything went right for Jimmy Butler, because everything did go right for Jimmy Butler. Right? Jimmy Butler had Tom Thibodeau coaching him up and all these type of things to the player that he is. I'm gonna say that RJ will be better than Jimmy Butler sooner than later. And
I'ma stamp that.
Not only that, I think RJ Barrett is going to be the player that attracts a star to come to New York because they want to play with Barrett in New York City. But we have to allow this process to play itself out and not skip steps in the rebuild and not skip steps with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is 21. He won't be 22 until
a couple of weeks.
June
14th. His birthday day before
June.
Couple of
so
weeks.
His birthday is in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So just be patient with the RJ Barrett is the leader of the team now, and he's the future megastar. The dude, he's on the right track, but just remember the dude's a baby, right?
Yeah.
The one thing you don't want to do is push him out too far too fast and then stunt his growth.
Or expecting
and
too much.
and Knicks, and you know we will do that. You know the fan base will do that. We want something too soon, too fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
I think the better comp would be Jaylen Brown. I think the better comp would be Jaylen Brown and his progression, because Jaylen Brown was just, they said if his offense caught up to his athleticism, I remember when he got drafted, they were saying if his offense caught up to his athleticism, he'll be who he is now. Because he was like a questionable third pick. Like, hold up, they picked him third? I don't know about that. But now look.
But you know the one thing that Jaylen Brown had when he came in? His defense was stellar from the start.
Yeah.
That was the thing. His defense.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it caught up to what he already was, athleticism and defense,
Mm-hmm.
he's who he is now. So I think, like, because if you look at his first 3 years, it doesn't really look that nice. It was inefficient, whatever, but for a third pick. So you would say, like, you know, people would probably been like, I don't know. But now look, they was patient. They waited. They let him progress. They let him get better. So I think we should do the same with RJ.
They let the potential maturate.
Yeah.
You know,
listen, I'm gonna say this about RJ. RJ, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, in my gut, I feel he might end up being the MIP this upcoming year. Y'all can stamp that.
Facts. Because he's been so underrated. That young man's been so underrated.
I think, you know, as much as I question that free throw shooting, I think he's going to improve on that free throw shooting. And if he does that, the guy averaged 20, not hitting, not even 75% of his free throws. You know, he can mess around and average 24, 25 next year. Easy. Because he stays at the line.
I mean,
and if he get that mid-range game, because I heard he's trying to work with DeRozan. If he come back with a mid-range, it's over. Mm-hmm. It's over. So that's why I'm picking him for early MIP candidate, man.
Facts. I want to say something, Ron, to go back to you. You know what I'm saying? I kind of agree with you on that whole quickly thing before I got disconnected. You know what I'm saying? I do agree that he is vocal as a leader. I can see that. I can see him being the starting point guard for the Knicks next season. I can't say what I want to say, but it's dead right. You understand what I'm saying?
RJ hit that 24 a game. RJ averaged 20 a game. I see my man in the chat say he averaged 24. Now RJ ain't at 24. RJ barely averaged 20 points a game.
Nah, he probably predicting like next year. You know what's crazy about RJ? RJ don't have all the pizzazz, the shimmy, and all of that. But can't nobody stop him when he go into the basket without all
Facts.
that pizzazz. And can't nobody stop him because he's strong.
If
No,
he's
I think
underneath the
the
rim
scouting
and
report is not on him like that. Like I feel
nah,
like next season it will be.
if he's underneath the rim, like a Capella, like that's another thing that he needs fixing. Like if you see that somebody else is blocking you 2 to 3 times, do it, but do it when you know that he's not under there. Like the dude that is blocking you is not under there. Like that's another thing that I'm like I get pissed. I'm not trying to bash on him. Like I want to see him doing better, but it's things that he has to learn. If there's a player that is blocking your shot every single time you keep on coming underneath that rim, you got to change something, or just make sure that you go underneath the rim when the other opposing side is not there.
But
Because
to that though,
It's
nice,
called
I do
creating. It's
like
called
the fact
creating
that
fouls.
I like the fact exactly. I like the fact he ain't afraid to keep coming. You know what I mean? Because some
Yes.
people they get blocked and they start just selling to shoot a jump shot. I ain't going in there because he gonna block my shot. Now RJ gonna keep coming like a pit bull.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And eventually you can mess around and get that person in foul trouble, especially if they're over aggressive.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
And then that's when it will come where we need kind of like a stretch, because now you could clear that space for him to go ahead and get that clear look to the basket.
Better shooters on the team. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Hey
Hey
man,
man,
somebody
y'all
got
have a good
somebody
one,
got
man.
Cam's
Salute
number.
to the chat. Y'all have a good one, man. Hey, if you ain't subscribed to Lawrence Tales, man, what you waiting on? This the
What
only
you
place,
waiting on?
hey, amongst others, where you gonna come and you get to hear your Knicks talk all day. You ain't getting to hear that bias on ESPN and Fox News where they just constantly talking about the Lakers and all that. Come on, man. Y'all go ahead and support.
Facts.
Later.
all right, have a good one, Ron.
Peace to you, Ron.
Where you said, Boogie, where Cam at?
Somebody got Cam's number, because that's
Word.
what I need to be calling. I need to be calling Cam Reddish
Y'all
because
know what's crazy about
like,
RJ?
Hey, Jay Boogie, hold on a second. Jay Boogie, you don't need to call Cam Reddish. You need to call his personal trainer, because that's the person who's messing him over. Because the boy
nah,
can't stay healthy.
but see, you know what? You can call his trainer all you want, right? But if he don't want to show up for you to train him, then that's on Cam.
Yeah.
Cam got to be willing and want to work. You know what I'm saying? And not use the excuses of like, oh man, he ain't called me. You know what I'm saying? Forget if he ain't called you. You should have went there anyway to work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just feeding off of what Freezy said. When RJ do his thing, that's going to make other people come. Cam is already here. And when RJ is doing his thing and other players come, I want people to come that's in his age range.
Yeah.
1 year
I
old.
agree, because that should have been enough to motivate him. That should have been enough.
Man,
Hey, I'm
you
playing with my
over here.
dog.
That's right. You with your man by any means. I mean,
I concur.
I didn't even see Cam when Cam was on the side, even though, you know what I'm saying, it was mentioned while he was on the bench, you know what I'm saying, that he was still, nursing his injury or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's cool. You can still be nursing. But I'm watching your body language on the floor, on the bench. You're not clapping. You're not celebrating. You ain't dapping nobody when they came in. You ain't talking to nobody about what you see or what they don't see. You're not doing none of that. See, all that plays its part. You know what I'm saying? How you going to play on the court is how you going to look on a layup line. One of the most famous dunk lines I ever seen was the Philadelphia 76ers with Doc and McGinnis and all them. Because they was on that layup line, you knew they was ready to play. They was trying to tear the rim down. So, a coach can look at you and be like, okay, you ain't even trying to break a sweat on the layup line. You ain't even trying to play, so I ain't going to look down your way. Cam got to involve himself with the New York Knicks. Involve yourself with this organization. Involve yourself with your career that you don't work so hard to get here. Involve yourself so now you can stay in this league. Because the way he's working is turning himself all his way back up out the league if he don't get his mind frame and his work ethic and his heart to want to be in this league, whether it's with the Knicks or anybody else. Cam got to come and perform and be grateful that he in that position that he in, because his man got him here, and you next to your man. I need you to come and perform and help turn up, man. Be like you was at Duke, you know what I'm saying? I just need Cam to come do something, man, because that 3 spot is wide open. We don't have a 3. And that's the difference between between RJ going to his natural spot, which is a 2, is what Cam can do. If Cam don't do it, then guess what we doing? RJ back to the 3. Guess what we doing? Evan Fournier back to the 2. That's what we're gonna do, unless Cam gonna turn up for us, man. That's what I said. Somebody need to call that dude, man. What are you doing, man? It's on the corner shooting dice. What are you doing? Playing a video game? What are you doing?
Cam got that lottery money. Cam got that lottery pick money and was like, all right, I'm straight. Got the mom's a house, got dad a car. I'm straight, bro.
Hey, I hope it's paid for. I hope it's paid for and not rented.
J Boogie, to your point, I believe you actually said, I think you said that we got to keep everybody, let's say, around the same age frame. That's a plus. But man, I feel like everybody's going to be looking good. RJ's going to be looking good. IQ is going to be looking good. Obi's going to be looking good. Cam Reddish is going to be looking good. If we actually get a play like this dude, what's his name? Jaden Ivey. Because you have so many multiple side that is good on their position that with a Jalen Ivey is just going to be more dangerous, because with a Jalen Ivey, I feel like you got to double team him. Now, the question is, who you going to leave open? RJ might be open, or Quickly might be open, Obi could be open, and that's why you need somebody that runs the floor the way that Jalen Ivey is be running.
So let me ask you a question, Nice. What would you play Jaden Ivey at if you was to get him?
That's a good question, player. I never even thought about that.
Like, that's my thing about people, players like Jaden Ivey. We get him cool. All right, what we gonna plug him at? Who's he gonna defend?
First of all, you better hope he get on the court, because Tibbs does not play rookie point guards like that or 2s.
He's gonna get on the floor like a number 4, a number 4, number 2, or number 1.
He might get,
if he doesn't get one number was Butler. One number was Butler.
I think like 13 or something like that. I don't think
exactly.
He
was,
for
somebody,
was 30.
but also too, Butler was after 30. But Butler didn't get for like 5 minutes per game.
Yeah, but it's like a Jimmy Butler. Listen to this, Corey. Listen to this real quick.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. It's like you saying Jimmy Butler being drafted at number 30, now being drafted number 1 or number 2. When you drafted number 1 and number 2, you have a lot of leeway. You have a lot of rope for you. There's no team, like, it's very rarely, like it's better off not saying that it's not even mentioned. When you have a top 5 pick, you barely see him on the bench or something like that. You most likely going to see him on the floor.
Facts. And they got the ball. And they got the ball off rip.
Hold on a second. Can I say something real quick? I agree with what you're saying in anybody else's program, but we talking about Tibbs, bro. You ain't talking about anybody else. Listen, do you know we had a cat on the bench, averaged 27 points in the G League? You know, it's more than this cat. They predicting if we stay at 11 that you know what I'm saying, he averaged more points than the cat from Australia, who's the tall point guard, which Tibbs loves, and he only averaged 11 versus this young man who averaged 27. Miles McBride averaged 27 points. Let that sit in your mind. And how much playing time did he get? He didn't get no burner till the end of the year. And then that's when the coach had to open his eyes up and like, oh, okay, I got this right here. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's different this year, though,
excuse me, let me finish. Instead of utilizing this young man like he should have, the dude is a good on-ball defender. You know what I'm saying? The young man can score, obviously. You understand what I'm saying? And why not? You know what I'm saying? If Tibb was a regular mind-thinking coach, we talking about a cat, Jimmy Butler, who might be a Hall of Famer in a minute. You know what I'm saying? If he keeps this up, he might be a Hall of Famer, and he got 5 to 10 minutes per game his first season. Breezy broke it down. You understand what I'm saying?
Are you referring to RJ Barrett?
No, Jaden Ivey. Like he's saying, if he would pick Jaden Ivey, yeah, like
No, he's talking about Miles McBride. He's talking about Miles McBride.
Oh, Miles McBride, yeah.
But if you get Ivey, look at what Tibbs did to McBride.
I'm gonna help you out with that, my man. I'm gonna answer your question for you. I'm gonna help you out with that. This is what I'm gonna say to what you're saying about McBride being in the G League. I'm gonna be honest with you straight up. Deuce wasn't even supposed to play at all last year, period.
Oh, yeah.
Number one is, all right, it's a difference between when Deuce came last year and when Quickly came 2 years. Quickly took that from a bunch of bums. We had some bums in front of Quickly, so that's why he broke that playing time.
DSJ, Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, facts.
He broke that. So with Deuce coming, you know what I'm saying, he's not supposed to play in front of RJ, Evan Fournier, Burks, Quickly, and my other young
keep it
guy.
point guard. Keep it point guard. He wasn't.
No. I'm talking about guards. Period.
Okay.
Because now, I'm not even gonna say Kimber and say Derrick Rose. the other light-skinned guard that came from Houston,
Grimes.
He's not even supposed to get playing time over them guys. He's supposed to really sit there and learn. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying because what he did in the G League. Do you know what Grimes would have done in that G League last year?
Oh, he would average 40.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody can't play in this role up here. You know what I'm saying? Because we was packed last year at the guard.
I agree.
The year before that, we wasn't. Now, with Ivory, if you're a smart, intelligent man, soon as he walk in that gym, I'm giving him that Spalding. Because we don't have nobody on this team that can beat you going left, right at any given time, one-on-one. We don't have that player. Everybody, RJ can go hard left, but he can't go hard right.
True.
Quickly can do it a little bit, but majority of the time what Quickly beat you is with a pick. The only one that can do that is Derrick Rose, but he was injured. And Kimber can only beat you from the 3 to the free throw line. He couldn't get to the basket. So soon as this man walk in his gym, I'm giving him this Spalding. Tibbs, if you have a problem with this, we're not going to treat this like the Cam treatment when we trade a pick. I'm coming down there, Mr. Leon Rose. Hey, you need to put that dude in this lineup because your 3-year service, you know what I'm saying, you guaranteed it's up.
Yeah.
It's up. So you're not even guaranteed before. Put this dude in this lineup. That's what we need to have done, man. But you don't even play games with this dude talent at 6'5", go left, go right, get to the rim, dunk on you left, right, any kind of way.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
A lot of people, you know, defend RJ, but I'm about to defend Cam straight up. My thing is, if we had Joel Embiid for the first 2 years, knowing how Knicks fans is, we would have traded him. We wouldn't have waited. You don't trade away. We don't have the luxury of trading away talent when we get talent. We don't have that luxury.
That's true, though. But that's true.
But I don't think Joel Embiid. They wouldn't have traded him the first 3 years.
Right. So here's the thing: a lot of the Knicks fan base compared Cam Reddish potential wise to Tracy McGrady, not post injury Tracy McGrady, pre-injury Tracy McGrady. Somebody who was one of the most fed two-way players in the NBA, bar none. And we're talking about trading away that talent.
Hey, if you can't produce, the best ability is availability.
So what about Joel Embiid?
So he got a point though. He got a point because if you look at some of the stars now, a lot of them progressed into stars. Look at Bradley Beal, Giannis, Kawhi.
Not Joel Embiid.
We'd have traded them. We wouldn't have been patient.
Negative. Joel Embiid. Quick question. Joel Embiid, his first year, he averaged 20.2. Second year, 22.9. And third year, 27.5 points per game. There's no way that's his first 3 years. Yeah, that's his first 3 years. I do not see a Joel Embiid getting traded if we drafted him.
Well, he might be the exception, but everybody else, the stars now, they would after their second year, if he ain't averaging 30, we like, no.
I understand what he was getting at, but what I'm saying is like a play like Joel Embiid, his first 3 years, given the production he was given, I doubt like if any team traded a Joel Embiid with 3 years of those type of production, they must be on something.
Yeah. Like he's the definition of trust the process. He's the definition of that.
They dust made
but what you missing is the point. The point that my man was making is Joel Embiid first 2 years was not Joel Embiid first 2 years. right?
The third year was his first year.
Yeah, you mentioned Joel Embiid's first 2 years playing, right? His first 2 years he was injured, right? He didn't start playing until his third season, and even in that season he was limited, right? Minutes restriction. And Knicks fans, y'all know how we. If you think, bro, did you see how impatient we was with Julius Randle with one bad season? Can you imagine taking a dude 3 and waiting 2 years for him to even get on the court? Knicks fans, man, listen. It's the same thing with Steph Curry. If we drafted Steph Curry, and Steph Curry was going through those ankle injuries his first 3 seasons,
we would have traded him.
Joe, hey man, he would have been.
No, he would have been in that Melo trade. He would have been in that Melo trade.
Hold on a second. Listen, you know what's so crazy? I watched I was watching something on the internet. Matter of fact, it was Draymond Green and Steph talking, and Steph was talking about how he was going to get traded. He was going to be the one to get traded for what's the big man they got from Australia, the number 1 pick,
Andrew Bogut.
And he's going to get traded. He was going to be the one to get traded for Andrew Bogut, but the doctors said that his ankles were too bad, so they sent Monte Ellis. How does that tables turn? How did it boom? You understand what I'm saying? The tables turn just like that. See, the point of it all is that you don't realize what you have until you trust the process. Now, honestly, I believe Leon Rose, you know what I'm saying? And I'm giving him this space because he is a professional and he understands talent. I really does. And he has the right people around him to some degree. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this. Yo, we going to be all right. We're going to be something to reckon with in the next 3 seasons, especially if this draft goes the way it's for us, the late ways. If we get rid of Randle and we trade him like I was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, if we trade him, add something with him, come back with something, and draft picks, I promise you. And and I know y'all saying Ivy. I like him. I'm not saying he's a bum, but that kid Mathurin ain't no joke. And I guarantee, and he's Canadian. And that's and these, you know what I'm saying? These Canadians have a connection with each other. You know what I'm saying? I can see him feeding off RJ and RJ feeding off him. Wick quickly running the point. If not, McBride definitely coming off the point, giving us a punch. You know what I'm saying? Either or. You know what I'm saying? Our backcourt could be solidified. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's just my opinion. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, right, but this is what I believe. And I'm putting that energy out in this air because it needs to happen. We have been overdue for so long. You know what I'm saying? If we build the right way, if we stay to the process, if we build from within, you know what I'm saying? We get a couple of cats who want to jump on the bandwagon and ride with us. Somebody solid, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a number 2 or number 3. Maybe RJ backs down to the number 3, but he's still going to be the leader to some degree, in my opinion.
I'll say this about that Giannis. I'm at that Curry thing. If that was to be true, and they 9 times out of 10 would have still gotten Giannis later on, I would not even watch basketball right now because Giannis, what he is now, and Curry, oh my Jesus Christ. Yo, they'd probably won 6 MVPs straight off that team. Just like Curry, it'd be back and forth between them two. I wouldn't even want to watch basketball. You just book them for the championship, barring injury.
But I'm glad you said, even if somebody come over here, RJ goes down to the 2 or 3, because you got to not understand basketball if you don't think Draymond Green is that's his team over there.
Heck no, he might be the vocal leader.
Yeah, that's his team.
Rah dude.
No, that's his team. They follow off his energy and everything. That's his team. You see him talking to the refs. You see him cussing Steph Curry out. That's his team, and he's not the best player on that team. So when my man is saying it's okay for RJ to fall to the 2 or the 3, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that if you're the best player, don't mean you're the leader of a team. That's what I'm just trying. I'm trying to just say that right there. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It's just that we got to have a leader Whereas a different leader might come in and might allow RJ to even, to fall off into a little bit of this pressure and become bigger in other phases of the game. You know what I mean? But if he's going to be the leader of the team, then he need other players to come and be around him, can do the other things that he can't, that he's not doing because he's focusing on being the leadership of the team. You know what I'm saying?
For the moment.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I feel like this. Draymond is that hood dude that's in the hood, but he in the streets, but he see the talent of another kid, but that's his man's. So he protect him like, yo, if you don't do this, I got this. You don't smack him when he got a problem. You don't smack him, I'ma smack him. And you do what you do.
Yeah, but Draymond really been running around ducking that wreck. He was up there pulling for Boston, because he knew Miami had to do it on their team that punch him right in his mouth. That's why he knew PJ would punch him right in his mouth. Come on, so that's why he would cheat. I wanted to throw that out there because the real people, the big channels don't want to say that's what it was. Yeah, he really was ducking that PJ.
He didn't want to get punked.
Yeah, he don't want that type.
He
didn't want that smoke.
It's somebody for everybody. It's a match for everybody. And plus, he think he's gonna pick on the young dudes. That's why, because they ain't been there yet. So that's why.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna jump off, man. I had a long night, man. I gotta go get some more rest. I've been partying all night, man. Rocking with my Rangers. I see Cully going. I was gonna let him know I'll be up there for game 2 too. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with the
I appreciate that support. All New York.
Yeah, I rock anything that got an NY in front of it. I rock with it. But if you got an NG in front of it,
go Mets.
New Jersey Nets. You need to go back over there. But I rock with all my NYs, man. So, right now I'm having fun enjoying my hockey right now. You know what I'm saying? We got some issues with the Lightning, but maybe the Lightning about to strike the shit house with them in it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all have a great day, man. Blessings to y'all, man.
I doubt that, man.
My guy, man. Huh?
I doubt that, man, because if a place they don't create snow, you know what I'm saying, and they win a hockey championship, I'm done with it.
Man, right now, James Dolan having the best time of his life, man. Right now.
What?
Right now.
You need that for him to be having a good time right now because we in some turmoil over here in the other part of that building.
Right.
But y'all blessed, man. Stay blessed, man.
Peace to you, guard.
No doubt.
Hey, no doubt, bro. Yeah, man. And so the conversation evolves based on what we think this team can be. Right? Like, for instance, I wanted to ask, Nice, so what do you think this team right now, just adding a rookie, no trading Randle, right? If we run it back and just add 2 more rookies, what do you think this team could be at its best?
Whew. That's hard. And the only reason I'm saying is kind of difficult to even answer is because you could see the trajectory that we trying to do with the Knicks. We trying to keep that same age range. And my mind with Randle is like, I want to keep him, but and the other side is like, I want to trade him. Based on RJ, based on Quickly, based on Obi, I want to continue to have 1 more year of drafting right. What makes more sense is get rid of Randle and get somebody else with a leadership role so that they can mentor our young core, because what he did last season is there's a lot of questionable things he has.
Not even questionable, unacceptable.
It's both.
Curry, hold a second. Let me say this. It's unacceptable. You've been in the league now almost 10 years, eight some odd years. And the key word is professional.
Yeah.
If you're not performing at the level, and I understand we got a different type of fan base compared to everybody else. Our fan base is not casual. We're die hard. So we're gonna pick you apart. But he should understand, because it wasn't his first rodeo in New York. You understand what I'm saying? This wasn't his first rodeo. So, and his mindset should be prepared to, like, listen, if I'm not performing, even though I think I'm trying hard, but we know that what you you're not duplicating at least half of what he did last year.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Cor-
saying? He's not,
mhm.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, my answer to that, Corey, is I can't blame 100% Julius Randle because
No, I blame
he
the
like
coach. I blame the
not on
coach.
not only the coach, even Leon Rose, because somebody should have put their foot down, saying that this is not what the Knicks organization represent. I understand what you're saying. Like I truly like I'm
I totally agree. I totally agree.
mhm.
I totally agree.
Because
The
for a
ball was
player
dropped
to
from the top to
mhm.
the bottom.
Yeah, for a player to
I'm
get
sorry.
away with what Julius Randle got away last season is more to it. That's the way I see it. Because what he's doing, like what everything that Julius Randle did, now what is he actually showing RJ to actually do in the near future? Like he could literally RJ if he's thinking of
He's
doing
showing them what not to do.
exactly. Like, listen, I did this last season and I got away. What makes you think that RJ is not going to get away with it? IQ might not get away with it. Obi might not get away with it. Like he's given a bad example. So that's the main reason I don't fully blame Julius Randle. I blame more either the coach and mostly Leon Rose because
Management.
Leon Rose is the one that all right. He's seeing everything that Coach Thibodeau is doing, but it was not one thing. It wasn't two things that Julius Randle did wrong.
It was
It was
several.
it was several. At what point did it gave it gave enough reason for Leon Rose to put his foot down and tell Coach Thibodeau and Julius Randle, you know something? I'm not going to be riding with this. Like this is going to get fixed from one night to the next day. This is not doable. And if you think that you can't change it, well, I'm sorry, you're gonna be traded. So that's why
I,
I can't blame Julius Randle
no,
100%.
no, no, no. I can understand that, but I'm gonna give some latitude to them because uh, uh, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this was emotional and prideful. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the situation that we went through last year, and you know what I'm saying? And you got to think this young man came from California. That was his opening of being in the league. They don't, they're not fans like we are. Talking about like we show up 3 hours before the game. We sit in our seats. We watch them doing shoot rounds.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? LA fans show up when they show up. Miami fans show up in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We are a different type of fan base. You know, people when you come to New York City, and I'm a New Yorker,
Yeah.
born and bred all my life, lived there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And now I live somewhere else. I live in the South. You know what I'm saying? In Atlanta, in the Metro Atlanta area. And with that said, though, is like nobody follows their team like real New Yorkers. I
Yeah.
can remember a time when we broke down Patrick Ewing to the to the point like we thought he was garbage, and and he's one of the one of the 50 greatest players. Not only
Right.
that, but the top 75 players that ever played the game, and
Right.
it's still everybody still poo-poos him like he was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's a man who didn't have enough talent around him. He
Yeah.
Right.
had some, but not enough.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, is Julius Randle does not have the mindset, in my opinion, the mindset to be that dude who can take the heat. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about how RJ Randall, RJ Barrett would go into a press conference and be like it would accept the responsibility for the loss. You know what I'm saying? And what I could do
Right.
better and how I could be, help my team win. How I could look out for this person and do do everything that can to elevate the team. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not saying Randall is a horrible player. I'm fortunate to have him as a Knick. We were blessed for him to do what he did to get us to the
Right.
fourth seed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that man. He
The
did everything possible within his will. But if you can't control your personal emotions And the fact that how the fans come down on you in New York, you're a professional first.
Facts.
Now, Corey, based on what you said, the only thing that I have to say with that is that regardless, Leon Rose or Coach Thibodeau, they did not put their foot down. But every player deserves the benefit of the doubt, especially with what Julius Randle did this season.
They gave him
he
that.
actually did last season. So whatever is the case, I'm okay with it. But at the same time, I rather let's say if I'm in the position of actually building, I'd rather just run it one more year, draft well, and especially if we could get away with the player that you mentioned, Curry, and or a player of Jalen Ivey, I'll be good either way. Either way, but we are keeping pretty much the age range pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
But we still need somebody else with a leadership, a veteran that falls in that category of the leadership that could actually guide our young core to become even better. Because I still feel that RJ, he's not showing us his best. I still feel Obi is only a glimpse of his best. Quickly the same, and the only way that we could see their actual best is having somebody in that leadership.
But nice that's the reason why I pushed for Malcolm Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I pushed for a Malcolm Brogdon type player.
Mm-hmm.
Not Brogdon, but somebody in that mold.
Yeah.
Of a point guard and a leader.
Yeah.
First things first, though. Can we just say we got to change his number? Change Julius Randle's number. He don't have the heart to wear number 30. That's
my God.
That number should be retired. You shouldn't even have that number.
That's a fact. But I'm gonna say this. I technically agree with you all for the most part. But Leon Rose does need to accept the most of the because he's the president.
Yeah.
He does need to accept the fact that he messed that up.
He let
to some degree.
A lot of shit slide. Yep.
Exactly. He let it gravitate to the point of where it was, but I understand him giving that young man some latitude because he's still a young man. This man is, you know what I'm saying, we really don't start maturing as adults until we like 30 years old.
Oh yeah.
When common sense start kicking us in the ass. Excuse me for my lack of a better term.
Speak for yourself. I'm still a clown. I be clowning my wife all the time. I'm 32.
But still though. You know what I'm saying? Some point of it all is, especially when it's riding on this, and we gave you this contract, and you are supposed to be the face of this team.
Yeah.
You cannot. That's unacceptable. I spent 5 years in this guy's United States Army.
Yeah.
Bless me. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I always did, and I learned from a E7 who's a Vietnam vet. You know what I'm saying? Leaders are supposed to lead from the front, not the rear. You're not supposed to act like a child. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to get your point across because the refs are not gonna side with you. I played high school basketball. I was a 5'11" power forward in Pennsylvania in the A, you know what I'm saying, in the lowest bracket of it all. I played against, you know what I'm saying, to be scrubbed up against cats like what's my man name, played for Syracuse, Billy Owens. I can remember when Billy Owens dropped 40 on me in the first quarter. Dunked on me, embarrassed me and everything. But you know what I did? I persevered. It didn't change my attitude.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Attitude is everything. I take that from my wife. She told me that. God bless her. She's a school teacher. When your attitude ain't crap, your performance is gonna be piss poor. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing given to you. You got to go out here in this world and take it.
Earn it, yeah.
You got to earn it, take it, and command it as yours. And that's why I am big on RJ Barrett, because he's not waiting for no man to show him the way.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to get rid of Randle. It's almost like if someone
he's gone. He's a rat.
If I know I'm a jump, if I jump off this ledge, I'm gonna break my leg, and I know that already. Why would I go ahead and do it? It's like if we know playing with Randle is bad. why would we go ahead and do it?
Regardless, with Julius Randle, I wish him the best if he stays with us, and I also wish him the best if he also leave, because I would not be one of those that will be acting like last season was something that never happened. You know, like that was a plus. That's the main reason I'm not.
You can't question what he did.
Yeah, I'm not too hard on players, especially when they gave us a bad season, because it could actually happen to the rest of us. But to a certain degree, like somebody should have put their foot down this season, and they didn't. So that's why I feel like there's even more hate. I don't know if the Knicks organization kind of sabotaged Julius Randle by not putting their foot down, like saying, like, you know something,
Julius Randle sabotaged himself.
No, but listen to this, Corey. Corey, you digging yourself in a hole and it's getting deep. And Leon Rose or Coach Thibodeau never pulled them aside saying like, we ain't doing this. You know, so it's like we already know that you digging yourself, keep digging yourself even deeper. That's the way I feel that the Knicks organization did to him, because regardless, any organization that consider themselves to be legit elite, they wouldn't accept that. I don't see that happening in Boston. I don't see that happening in Golden State. I don't see that happening in pretty much all the organization out there, except the Knicks for some reason.
You know, nice.
That's because you got to think who ran Boston. Danny Ainge was a tough-nosed, hard-nosed cat, and he didn't play none of that. He was a former player. He didn't put up with that BS.
Yep, you're right about that. You know, I gotta agree with what you said on that, Mr. Lee, and nice what you're saying. I do feel that the front office, in a sense, did hurt him. Because keep in mind, when it was time for interviews, they had him. They didn't let him. He wasn't available. And they were willing to take the finals. A lot of us took it as if it was on him, but that was all on the front office of the organization.
Because they understood his temperament. His temperament.
Then one thing said, I can't remember who. I don't know who said. I can't remember who said it. He has to get a grip of his emotions. Period.
Yeah,
I said that.
You know, you said and I understand a lot of it too goes to the fact that people are saying things about his family and all like that. You control the things you can control. You can't control what other people say and do.
Exactly.
And how they feel. You know, I don't think Randle's a bad player, man. You know, a lot of people.
No, I don't either. Nah, he's good.
He's
a very talented young man.
Yeah, he's talented. And I think his talent, what he can bring, is underrated, because he's not he's not flashy or whatever, man. He's one of them lunch pail, hard hat, go strong and get it. He's strong. He's strong.
Soul Finger, can I say something real quick, yo? But he believes he's something that he's not.
Thank you. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Because I was gonna say he doing. You remember, like Rasheed Wallace, one of my favorite players of all time. One of my favorite players. But the one remember when Rasheed started hitting threes? What did Rasheed do?
Stayed on that line.
Stayed on that line instead of doing the mid range and other things up. And with Randle, you know, I know he worked out and trained with Melo. You start trying to do Melo, and you're also, you know, the thing like that.
Yeah.
Play your game. Yeah, and a lot of it too is, keep in mind that Randle never had a chance to be the number one cat wherever he was at. Not even in New Orleans. Yeah, he put up some good numbers, so he's doing it here. Even when his first year here, he wasn't the number one guy, because when you thought about leader of the team,
those were de facto numbers. Those were the de facto numbers due to the fact that your man got hurt. Plays for the Lakers now. That's why he got
AD. AD got hurt. You know, and the thing about it too is, when you thought about when he first got here, he didn't come across as the leader of the team. It was Mook. Everybody thought Mook was the leader.
Yeah,
it was just one of those. So he's growing. He's got to work into it. I'm gonna give him, I'm getting the benefit of the doubt that my man gonna bounce back. Now, it does when you talk about those trades, and we know, we're talking about the Knicks will win now. Portland is win now. You know,
exactly.
When you think about it, they are win now. They trying to do any and everything to appease Dame Dollar. And the one thing they're hurting on is a power forward. And yes, we have. I'm not saying trade him. I'm not saying that. But if you did trade him, and if it was Portland, I wouldn't be surprised, because of what Portland is trying to do. They're trying to also get Portland is trying, and I know we're talking about the Knicks. They're trying to get the big man from the other big man from the Clippers, the backup.
they're looking at him as well. So they're trying to do whatever they can get.
I'm gonna go. It's a soul finger. The only reason I just like something in me is saying like it would not be wise of trading Julius Randle. And I'm gonna say and I'm gonna say this, Corey. I just don't feel like it's gonna happen again with Julius Randle. And whatever team, let me finish so that you can understand. At least try to grab the whole the whole scope that I'm trying to bring. Whatever team that we trade Julius Randle for, or whatever player we trade him for, it gotta be somebody at par or similar. Because
Listen,
if let me just finish. Let me finish making
my
this
bad,
point.
my bad.
If Julius Randle goes to another team, they know how to utilize him, and he becomes a most improved player. Which team is going to be looking like the most dumbest team ever just because of not utilizing a certain piece?
Hey, look here.
We
I'm saying
always
right
look
now.
like the dumbest team, though. It don't
Hold
even
on a
matter.
second. Stop.
I mean, we
Hold on a second.
already covered that territory.
Hold on a second, because I gotta chime out for a minute. I'm gonna plug back in, but I gotta chime out for a minute. After this, I say this. Listen, I could cut my losses with him because he was never a nurtured Nick. You understand what I'm saying? So letting him go is just letting him go. You understand what I'm saying? It's just some things just don't work out. Just like you had a girlfriend and y'all were together and y'all love each other, but y'all just couldn't get along. Hey man, that young man, he's great. The sex is, like just like the sex is great with your old ex and all that stuff like that, but it's not the right fit. He's not the right fit because his attitude will not refrain from him thinking that I am that dude. If somebody like Dame Dollar can tame him down because of his status, RJ can't do it because he's looking at RJ as
Little brother.
exactly, or son. You know what I'm saying? With that said, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Listen, I appreciate everything he's done for New York because after the first season, it was an issue, and that's why we drafted Obi Toppin. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Let's keep that in perspective. You understand what I'm saying? It was questionable then. He showed out the next year, you know what I'm saying, when the fire was on his AS, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And he got a contract, and he got this contract, and he fed his family, and what did he do again? He turned around and gave us the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's my point. But give me a second, fellas. I'll chime back at you in like about 5 minutes. But I gotta go
I'll
take
say,
care of something.
I'll say this though. I'll say this.
Mhm.
All would have been forgiven, and I don't think it would have went that downhill if he would have just went to the podium and said, "Yo, my bad. I was really, into the game. My feelings was into, with the thumbs down thing." If he would
Mhm.
have just off rip took accountability
Yeah,
instead of hiding, then I think all would have been forgiven, and it would have been better for him mentally. But since they hit him and he hit himself, it
yeah,
took it went straight down like from there. And I think that if he would just took it, because we will respect that. If you from New York, you're gonna respect a man to say, "Yo, my bad, that's my fault," and he didn't
Yeah.
do that.
Agree.
And
That not coming out right after that, but I got to look at the front office on how the media, how the organization deal with the media. They shut him down real quick. It's
yeah,
no, we can put him out because you had other people coming out talking on speaking
yeah,
on
his
his behalf
behalf.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
So they didn't do again. Front office didn't do that man any favors.
yeah,
And then it didn't help with you having his lady out there. She's coming at everybody on
Yeah.
Twitter and everything else. I
Yeah.
get it. You got your
Yeah.
man back. Hey, she 10 toes
Yeah.
down. However,
Yeah.
you coming at cats that, a lot of podcasts that were on his side.
yeah,
Yet she gunning for everybody. So it was the perfect storm of chaos. Because not
yeah.
to mention, and then this is one, and I could be digging too far in my conspiracy bag, like Mulder on the X-Files. But
You got to think about in the offseason. This man he was the first. He got MVP. He got most improved player, and he went to the All-Star game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then enter Kimball Walker.
Fournier.
And Kimber coming home. We had Fournier and Fournier, but it was the Kimball Walker on Coming Home tour. And
Yeah.
then who was modeling the New Jersey? Whose
Yep.
face was all over the place?
Was Kemba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that could have started some stuff right there. I'm not
Yep.
saying it is, but just from outside looking in. You never know until that man says something. But for me, and then you seeing how his temperament is, you can't tell me he didn't think about, like, hold on, bro. I was your
That should have
all-star.
been me. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm most improved. I'm the
Yeah.
one who said we here, we back.
Yeah.
I did this, I did that. So he could be in his feelings about that as well. You're
Yeah.
doing the Kemba, I'm coming home to it. Like I said, the front office could have, hindsight, we could talk about
Also
it any
added
other kind
him.
of way.
Yep.
But the thing about it, if you really, the front office really about marketing and everything, why not have pictures of Randle, Kemba, and RJ, your
Yeah.
supposedly faces that you're trying to put, so you
Yeah.
can spread it out there instead of just doing it like that. So it was a bunch of stuff, man. So it went downhill, and it went downhill.
And even to your point, Soulfinger, they never even mentioned. Like, remember when you have a dude that is a top dude in a certain team, you always
Yeah.
address him before actually making any type of move. And whenever they wanted to acquire Fournier, whenever they wanted to acquire Kemba, they never even went to Julius Randle and
Mm-hmm.
even asked him, "Hey, what like we about to bring him? What's your take on it? Like, do you feel like he's the type of player that we gonna need to help you succeed and at least get even closer to that championship?" Same thing goes for Coach Thibodeau. That's why I keep on hammering the thought that, hey, if Coach Thibodeau has a certain players that he's interested, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, those are the players that you get. Like, even though it's not Coach Thibodeau number one, number two, at least you got to get somebody in that category that he wanted, because now you actually giving a Coach Thibodeau players that he's playing that maybe Coach Thibodeau feel like that's not what they need. That's why I wanted that if Leon Rose or anybody in management actually get Coach Thibodeau the players that he wanted. Now, if it's a disaster, guess whose fault is it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you
I'm
It's
this.
gonna say
Thibodeau.
this here.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna say
my
this way.
main problem with Randall is that he's just like a crybaby at times, and it's almost like it almost does look like he's like jealous of other people like success. Like even what Soulfinger was saying with the conspiracy of like maybe he was upset about the Kemba jersey thing and
Yeah.
the show. But and then it's also like he reminds me of a player or a person in the park that get mad when they don't get the ball, so he'll throw the ball over the gate and start going like acting like a little baby. I want to say the B word, but I can't say that. But they start acting like that, and it's
I'm
like, bro, relax.
and
You're
I'm
part of the
about to say
team.
this. I'm gonna say this right here, and it's not gonna be popular for a lot. And I know I am not, as you can hear in my accent, in my draw. I'm not from the city, but I've been a Knicks fan for many, many moons. I wasn't tripping about it because it wasn't. I look at it like it wasn't directed to me. I look at it to whoever it was. He was directed to a certain
Yeah,
somebody. It wasn't directed to me. So
yeah,
I said it before. You're not from the city, so you don't understand. Look, man, I know when somebody disrespect me on get down with the get down. So I wasn't tripping about that. My whole thing was I said to myself, like, dang, Randall, man, that's not a good look, bro. You digging a
Yeah.
hole deeper for
And
yourself. Deeper, because you got those that were unhappy with the signing with him coming in the first place. Because as you see, the previous regime, they signed like 15 power forwards,
yeah.
and so he was supposed to be the prime. He's the prime. He's your trophy pick, trophy signing, and it didn't matter. It didn't help that Stephen A. put it out there like where he puts it out there and downgraded the man like he did, considering not even giving him a chance. So those are the things right there. His whole thing is to get back on the floor and forget about last season and put in work. He should be coming in this season like he did the most improved player, that MIP year. He should be in, if not that shape, better.
Yeah.
With he should be on his, from the time he sit on the floor on the court. I mean, time he gets to the training camp, he should be on kill.
Yeah.
Period. That's all Ronald needs to do. Be on kill. Period. Go in there, handle his business. Don't shut off your social media and just go to work.
Worry about what you can control.
Tunnel vision.
And then if you want your family to come, put them in a box. Don't have them down there. Put them in a box away from everybody else. That's all you got to do. But go on, kill.
Why do you think, Soul Finger, that I keep on saying that, like, as much as I know that there's a lot of fans that want Julius Randle traded, but at the same time, we got to be objective, not subjective. We got to look at certain players, like how likely is for a player to have 2 back-to-back bad season, and especially a player like that actually won most improved player. Like, it's very rarely, just like I said, especially for a player that has won most improved player, it's very hard to actually see 2 bad seasons in a row. That's why I feel like Julius Randle next season is going to come with a comeback.
Nah, I disagree totally. See, here's my thing about Randle. Straight up, he of course he plays like Melo, right? Everybody, including us as Knicks fans, was surprised that he was hitting on mid-range shots and them 3-point shots. This year, the scouting report was on him. People was playing him like he was prime Melo. He couldn't handle it. Yeah, he got the 20 and 10, but it was inefficient. It wasn't efficient at all. So my thing is, the thing about Julius, that ISO ball thing is not working for us in today's league.
Yeah.
It's not working for us. And it's inefficient. So my thing is, if we don't trade Randle, how is the team going to play like? Because Randle's not running pick and rolls. He's not going to roll for nobody. He's not going to do that. You know what I mean? He's not going to catch and shoot all the time. He needs the ball in his hand in order for him to do what he do. So what are we going to do with Randle? We just going to leave be over there with 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah, but then if just by you saying what you just said, it's like we acting that he didn't have Bullock in his side. He didn't have EP in his side. As much a lot of fans, they hated EP and they wanted him traded. Nobody had any problem of his of the way he defended his the player he defended. Kemba, he had problem defending. Evan Fournier at the beginning, he had problem defending.
I blame the front office for that, but yeah,
exactly. So that's the thing. We can't put as much as that we want Julius Randle traded. We can't be acting like other things didn't happen. Because if Bullock was in, EP was in, if we pretty much had the same roster as last year, and Julius Randle gave us what he gave us this season, I'll be 100% with you, saying like, hey, there's no excuse why we have Julius Randle in our team. But for us not running it back, trading 2 key pieces that actually help Julius Randle go even further on, now is even a setback, because we just is undetermined what we actually want with Julius Randle. You know what I mean?
So would you trade him during the trade deadline? Let's say we like 2 or 3 games under 500 or at 500. Would you be like, you know what, I'll trade him?
But you see, I love your point right there, because that's given enough time to actually come back, enough time even for Leon Rose and Coach Thibodeau to actually. And I don't want them to actually have like 3 or 4 different type of trade. I want just the simple one, the simplest one ever. Like, let's just make a 1 trade or 2 trade. That's it. Make 1 trade better than the other on defense, on offense, but defense has to be a factor, because if there's one thing that I'm tired of seeing is that whenever you bring a player, like we had Kemba and we had Fournier did not have a down pack at the beginning, so he had problem defending. Kemba is a different story. Like, oh man, he was dreadful. So whenever he was defending somebody and the defender blew right through him, pulse on that, you will see Kemba screaming, help! Julius Randle stop. You don't see RJ stop defending his man. You don't see another player stop defending his man. You only see Julius Randle stop defending his man to actually help out Kemba. But now what's happening is that they pass the ball to that dude. The dude passed the ball to the dude that Julius Randle was defending, and now he's real open to take that 3 shot or that 2. So that's another problem. That's why by you saying that in the midterm the trade deadline, it will give enough time to Leon Rose get it right, Julius Randle get it right, and from then we'll make a better assessment who is being traded and who we actually keep.
Yeah, that's my problem with Randall. Only problem I have is his attitude.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
quit on the team. Like when he ain't getting his way, he be quitting on the team, and that's not a leader. You can't quit on a team. You can't be doing when he don't get the ball, whatever. He just start like, like not caring on the game. He slacks off on defense. Like he'll let somebody backdoor him on purpose. It's almost like on purpose, but just to prove a point. Because I ain't get the ball last couple times, and it's like, bro, why are you doing that?
I know
Costing
what
the
you're
game.
saying. I know what you're saying because it sounds like that. Remember that one game, may rest in peace. Kobe didn't take a shot.
Yeah,
The other game he didn't take a shot. It's almost like that. It could have been something like that, and it's just like I said, it was a perfect storm, man.
Yeah,
you know, and it put RJ in a spot, and I got to give it to him. The young fella's trying to step up and do his thing as, you know, hey, I got the team. You know, and it's kind of like, all right, big bro, I know you down, things ain't working. I got it. Let me step up, try to do and be that leader. And he's learning how to be a leader as well. How to, you know, we got a young team. It's a lot of leadership, a lot of things, a lot of growing. You know, you got Derrick Rose, who, you know, he's mentoring, doing his thing on the side. You got Taj, who does his thing. But, you know, I was listening earlier, and I think majority agree that you need that one vocal leader on the team.
Yeah.
You know, and I said this a couple of days ago. This is one reason I was upset about Bobby Portis. Call it, be it as it may or whatever. Bobby Portis was that vocal guy. He was that vocal cat.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Bobby Portis was the kind of cat. He give you the big eyes like Kurt Thomas and be like, yo, what's happening? What you doing? So that's what we need on the team. But you could, you know, if you get the right type veteran, I'm not saying veteran that's gonna come in and you know, you can get a veteran that can still got some in the tank that can get in and make things happen, you know, to bring in. You know, Evan Fournier, he talks, he does his thing, but it's kind of like it's not what this team needs.
Nah.
And then too, in relations to RJ and Fournier, you need RJ back at that too.
Yeah.
You really do.
And nobody won't respect that Frenchman. I ain't gonna lie. They probably look at him like, "Yo, boy, shut up. You know, you from over there, bro. Shut up."
That was the thing. You know, you need that. So you don't have that cat. I'm not saying we're gonna find another X-Man to put in the locker room, a Mace or an Oak to put in the locker room, because they don't really make them like that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they don't make those kind of cats anymore. But you need to have.
They can't even be like that in today's league.
Yeah, you know, you can't. Yeah, you sure can't. Look, if you happen to pick your nose in the direction of a cat, you looking at a flagrant one. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be, and you know, we're all passionate. End of the day, everybody's putting in what they think we should do and how we want to do. I guarantee it's one thing that everybody in Knicks Nation can agree on, that we all want, is a championship. That's the one thing that everybody can come together. How you get it is just different. You know, who you want on the team is just different. You can agree on some, you're gonna greatly disagree on others. You know, I like what Randall's gonna what he can do, but and I've seen Keith Turner. Shout out to Keith Turner. He put it in the chats many times before. His stock is low, so if you're talking about trading Randall, it may not happen right off. I know a lot of people want to trade him, but I gotta agree with Keith Turner on that one, man. His stock is low. You gotta sell. You gotta get rid of sell high. So you gotta have to build him up. It may not happen. You know, I'm not saying it is. I'm not gonna say it's not. It may not happen on the draft night. So you know, we can't get all in our feelings about, hey, it's gonna happen, and it don't, and then we're upset. So we kind of have to be cool. We all have to be cool and let it unfold. It's just like when if you play spades. And you know, you're getting down there and you bid that 10 hand and those cards are falling funny because you're getting down to phone numbers. You got to play that smart. So that's all it is. You know, you got to play it that way. Now, Will Randle?
So that's why, okay, because I hear what y'all saying, right? But that's why I think with the Randle situation, you have to take the first offer you get or the second or third offer you get. right? I don't think it's a situation where you should wait till draft time, because what happens if the Knicks have the worst record in the league?
Yeah.
Right? And what kind of stuff? What kind of value does Julius Randle have?
None.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, this is a possibility.
Oh no, it's a big possibility.
It's possible that Randall's stock could get worse instead of getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what if this bad attitude season is not a fluke?
Well,
what if Julius Randle has a bad attitude?
Hey, Freeze, remember you and I had a conversation about this. Remember I said when it comes to trading him, the other team is going to bring up, well, look at this. He's slapping laptops out of people's hands. And
right.
He's boxing basketballs and this. They're going to try to diminish his value so they can get him for less. So we had to do that front office got to do their due diligence to take care of that and get what they want to get.
It's almost like Marbury on the
what
Nets.
course?
I remember when Marbury was on the New Jersey Nets, and like it just wasn't a good fit, because when Jason Kidd got there, he had that same exact team, and he pushed them further. I think and they said Marbury had a bad attitude or whatever, and his stats was great, but they wasn't winning. And it's like with Randle, his stats are okay. His stats are okay. They're good. It's just that they're not winning, and it's not a good fit, and that's okay. That's okay. No offense to him. It's just not a good fit, and got to move on from it.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna be in the minority. I think Randle gonna bounce back, man.
I'm with you on that though.
And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why, because really, you think about it. His basketball future is on the line. Yeah, people might say, "How you mean, Ron? He got a contract." Yeah, that might be his last one. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you don't want a narrative, and not so much as it might be his last one. You don't want to get shipped someplace with somebody just sending you to purgatory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? NBA purgatory. You don't want that.
Carmelo.
This guy at the end of the day, he ain't getting no younger. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
that's
Every
still
year goes by.
Yeah.
Hey, he's 1 year less to being in the league. So I think Randle, this season, man, like all that's been said, man, it's just been a bunch of negative stuff around the team, man, that just happened. And at some point, I think Randle, I think this season, man, you're gonna see a hungry, motivated Randle.
Yep.
I think that's what we're gonna see, man. And I'm not gonna be in that mindset saying that him and RJ don't get along. They don't, because I ain't heard none of that. You know what I mean? So that's just speculation. I'm not going with none of that.
Can I ask you one more
all
question?
know what we saw this year, and it was a train wreck, a derailment.
Hey, Ron, if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum last season, this season they figure it out, why can't we? You know, like last season they wanted to even trade Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum because neither one of them could coexist.
Yeah.
They figure it out. They knew that dimension out there was, hey, one of them was about to get traded. And look what they did this season. This season was lovely. You know,
it's a simple fix.
And let's look at this thing too with this team. Okay, when we made that 4th seed, right? Julius Randle was the most improved player, made the All-Star, and had MVP votes on a squad that he didn't even have a starting level point guard for the whole season. We didn't get a point guard till we got Derrick Rose. We was on a roller coaster at Six Flags. So, and then you look at the shooting wasn't that good. So the blueprint is still there on what this team need to make this team better. Now the question is going to fall in Randall's lap. You know, get your head on straight, play ball. But guess what I'm going to do? Guess what Leon going to do? I'm going to go get you something so you don't have no excuse.
No excuse.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get you that point guard you need. Because everybody talking about sending him to Portland to play with Dame. What if the end game is getting a point guard here, which all reports are showing they're trying to move up to get Ivy?
Yeah.
Something to think about, man. Something to think about. I don't think they're getting rid of Julius.
And
let's say they don't get
now.
all of that, right? It's a simple fix so they can coexist. It's called pick and roll. A pick and roll between RJ and Julius will be unstoppable because can't nobody stop RJ from getting to the basket because he's too strong, and nobody can stop
especially Julius Randle.
Julius getting to the basket, and he can shoot. So
Which,
it's a simple fix. They just don't do it.
and I think it's the fact that Julius don't want to do that because that was his game back in New Orleans, the pick and roll game. He don't want to do that.
But in his defense, we ain't really had nobody running the pick and roll.
Yeah.
You gotta have a point guard that know what they're doing too.
Well, I'm talking about between RJ and Julius, though.
Do the pick and roll with Julius, that tells me something about your point guard position.
No, you telling the truth, Ron. Tell the truth, because the thing is we didn't run it. We never ran it, and the going that way. Look, we, the jury, IQ, and I already know. I've seen it in the chat when I've been working and everything. When I say what I'm about to say, so if you're gonna kill and make it a swift death or whatever, I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say. IQ, yeah, I know. Towards the end of the season, he turned things around. He looked rather promising. The thing about it is, we got to keep it a buck. We're gonna be hard on Randle. Got to be hard on everybody. IQ looked like hot garbage when he first started the season. The first beginning of the season, he was horrible. Or Chuck would say terrible.
Not only a Soulfinger, not only IQ, pretty much everybody had everybody. Evan Fournier had a bad rap. Kemba pretty much the whole season. RJ had like a bad 10 or 15 games. Everybody had a 10 or 15 bad games. So the only thing I have to say with this is that we never gave Julius Randle the benefit of the doubt of having a point guard, an actual point guard, because I'm not saying that Derrick Rose is not a point guard. Derrick Rose is one of the best point guards, but a point guard that could actually stay on the floor for the entire season.
Because you think about it, man, you had Alec Burks playing point, and you put that man in a position not to succeed. That's not. Can he run point for a small amount of time before your season? And shout out to my man, Mr. Ron Cleveland. He said it first. If we're going to play with Alec Burks at the point, we're in trouble. He said that, and yes, it came to fruition. We knew that. Anybody with a third of a brain, not half of a brain, a third of a brain, a quarter of a brain knew that was going to happen, man. So you had, IQ, like I said, he got better over the course of time, especially towards the end. And we can say, hey, you playing against this player, that. Hey, them cats still playing for contract.
Yeah, NBA.
I'm going to ask y'all a question, too. I'm going to ask y'all this. Everybody in the panel too, all in the video chat also, video chat and the live chat. Remember how y'all felt last year? Huh? Because I got the tape. I got the tape, me included. You know what I mean? I've been on Randall head like everybody else. But let's not forget, man, when I hear people say, and I might have been guilty of saying it too, that last year wasn't no fluke.
No, it wasn't.
We did what we were supposed to do when you play the game the right way.
Yeah.
And this year we did the total opposite because we didn't play the game the right way.
Yes.
That's all it boiled down to. We didn't play the game the right way. You know what happened? The worst thing happened to this Knicks team this year is we started off 5-1 and we were scoring a bunch of points.
Yeah.
And we felt like that was sustainable.
Yeah, we knew that.
We did best the year before, and that was play defense.
Play defense.
So we got punched in our mouth by the Magic
after the midway point. Come on, man.
And you know that after we blew the Magic out, after they went down there and stumped the mud hole in them and stumped that joker dry, they came up and hit us in the mouth. You had a bunch of young cats that had nothing to lose.
Yep, and then we lost all momentum.
Full of vigor. And then after that, it was down. So he was like, okay, they fell asleep. You caught us on a bad one. And then they punched us in the mouth again repeatedly the second game. And we were never right after that.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Until we could point Soulfinger before, when you said about the Alec Burks thing, especially you, Ron, if they was going to put the ball in somebody's hands, if you wasn't going to start quickly and Rose was down, why didn't you just give the ball to RJ and let him bring it up the court? And if he was going to do that.
I think it too, because he was a better decision maker.
Yeah, we should have just did that.
You saw that after they decided to say, okay, we're going to get away from that, and you saw Alex Burks playing off of RJ, he was more comfortable. And he was back to shooting the ball.
Put him at like players like Trae Young can't guard Trae Young, but Trae Young can't guard him either. He's too big against other point guards. He's too big. It's a mismatch.
You have to make Trae Young work.
I got another controversial take for y'all. Some people ain't gonna like this guy name I'm about to call, but I'm gonna make my case for why he would be a perfect addition to this team. Y'all ready for it?
Hit me.
Russell Westbrook. Forget the money. Think about his playing style. Don't think, and I'm going to tell you why. Don't look at that Lakers situation because that is not Russell Westbrook. They should be at fault. Now, keep saying it. You brought that man in there and expect that man to be a shooter, something he's never been. That man is best when he got the ball in his hand, a walking triple-double. What we always said we wanted on this Knicks team, somebody willing to pass the ball. Yeah, he's going to have some boneheaded turnovers, but guess what he's going to do? He's going to play hard every night, and he's wanting to push the pace, something that we've been talking about with this team. When this team plays slow, we're in trouble.
I'd say yes and no for me. It's yes for if we playing with Obi starting. It's no if we playing with Randle starting. Because Randle, Obi gonna run the floor. Obi gonna run the floor.
He would be perfect for Randle too. You know why? Mm-hmm. Remember we talked, we want somebody vocal.
Yeah.
So
see, my thing is
he a true Randle up.
The only thing I will say about that, Ron, man, I'm just looking at what are we actually doing as a team. We have a lot of young players, and power to you, because it's like you said, we need a leader. We need a leader, somebody that doesn't care about saying what he has in his mind.
Let me give you a little piece before you add on to give you something else to think about before you finish your statement. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook in a contract year too. And people want to push him out of the league. So you know he's going to be super motivated.
Yeah.
Keep going, Nice.
Hey, we need a leader. So as much as
that's an expiring deal.
That's tough, man.
That's an expiring deal. That's an expiring deal.
It's an expiring deal, but the thing I look at is who we're going to give up to get him. Because to make it work, Randle's going to wind up being in that package.
Yeah.
Possibly. You have to give up a Randle. And I wouldn't be willing to give up a Randle.
IQ, or even Obi.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, that's when you get a third team or a fourth team involved.
Yeah, you got to get in. And then
you ain't got to necessarily give from your team. You can be the one to give the picks.
Yeah, you can give up some picks and get whatever.
I want to ask one more question. What made the second unit? Because the story was the second unit seemed like they was more efficient than the first. Who was the catalyst? Who was the catalyst for that?
It was Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose playing style is very similar to Russell Westbrook. Both downhill points.
Without the turnovers.
Yep. Both downhill point guards like that.
The bonehead shots. See, my thing is I can't, like I said, you can pull up anything, and I'm not gonna go back. I am not a big Russell Westbrook fan. I'm often, you've heard me on other shows or whatever, here talk about Westbrook. I'm a lot of people talking about it, but I'm just not a big fan of his, especially if you're trying to get him and Randle on the team together. 4 turnovers and his 6 to 7 turnovers, man, the guard is gonna go crazy. Yeah. It's already as crazy as it is. Then you look at it like this: if we still have IQ, because we're beating up IQ, and he's been in the league going to his 4th season, correct?
Yep.
You're going to his 4th season. No, going to his 3rd season. I'm wrong. We're going to his 3rd season, and we're talking about shot selection with IQ. Lord Jesus, help me, Lord, when it comes to Westbrook, because the minute that cat hit a 3, he's gonna start rocking the baby, and then he gonna start throwing cinder blocks and boulders, man.
So figure it's just a thought, man.
I hear you.
It ain't a crazy thought, man.
But the thing is,
on this team.
Yeah, but the thing about it, Ron, with that, when you talk about the money, and then not to cut you off, Ron, but when you talk about the money, then you say, okay, we're gonna make room to bring in have more money for the next free agency, which is coming up, which is supposed to be the better free agency. However, we're in a situation, will we be attractive then? Because we have a history of not being so attractive. So the way you do that is by winning with what you got. So you could go with it either way. I'm not a fan of myself. I would want to, if I'm gonna move Randle for somebody, I wouldn't move. It's just me. This is me.
Hey, but think about it. Like I said, you don't have to move Randle. Get another team involved.
Well, yeah, get another team. I don't want Westbrook in the blue and orange. It's just me. Unless he wearing the Denver Bronco jersey.
And I want y'all to remember I said this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what Russell Westbrook does this year. He's gonna remind people. I'm gonna tell you right now, and we all know this. Contract years, players play better.
Yeah.
They play better. You don't have to give Russell Westbrook a contract.
Now the only thing that I see with that, Ron, is, man, I always, for some reason, I'm always focused with that with the bench of last season. Like, we had something beautiful going on, and it was fast paced, unselfish players, pretty much all around on the bench players. I don't see Westbrook being unselfish. I'm just
But
sorry.
you know, I mean, think about it. He has to be. Hey, think about this. Nice. The man is unselfish. The man average a triple. You ain't getting no triple double if you selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real about that. Triple doubles don't happen accidentally.
He's mindful. He's mindful of the numbers that he needs to produce as assists to get that triple. Not doing it out of all will.
You ain't bringing him here. He would know his role. You're not bringing him here to be that guy.
That number one.
You're not bringing him here to have to shoot. You bringing him here to facilitate an offense. You're not doing what the Lakers did with him. You letting him be what he's been all his life.
What the Lakers did to him was a travesty.
The Lakers messed him up.
The Lakers took the ball out of his hand.
When that man ain't never been a shooter and will never be considered one.
Let me ask you a question.
Think about this. A man was shooting like 80-something% from the free throw line. This year with the Lakers, how much did he shoot? I think like 70.
Checking right now.
Yeah, he went to the line a lot, but see, the problem is his numbers really did drop because LeBron had it.
Yeah, because you asking him to do something he don't do, and then the man still averaged, I think, 16 or 17 points. You know, but they blame him instead of blaming that Humpty Dumpty man that can't stay on the court, and Anthony Davis, and being played out of position.
Yeah, Mr. Glass didn't help.
LeBron was supposed to play more of a traditional point guard role. I mean, power forward role with Westbrook down there and be the secondary facilitator.
It was bad with Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass, when Mr. Glass was on the bench, and they were looking for him to give them more, or AKA street clothes, as he's known. It's just that Westbrook has to have a ball in his hand, and they took it out. And like you said, Ron, you asking this cat who can't look. He normally can't hit an elephant in the backside with an ironing board. You ask him to turn into, you asking him to fire it up like he Dame Dollar or Steph. Because like I said, that cat hit a shot. If he hit one, he like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep jacking these jokers up. And he rocked that baby one time. It's like, oh Lord, here we go. Man. But the one thing he will attack a defense. He puts pressure on the defense.
Absolutely.
You have to respect that part. And yes, does he pass? Yes, he passes. But I think the thing is I wouldn't want him coming in and then it's gonna be that savior deal. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be looking at him as no savior on no 1 year deal.
You may not be, but a lot of others would be, and it could be a whole nother mess on that. So that's why I'm shying away from it. And I don't think that. He'll play hard, but man, look, it's only so, we talking about Knicks Nation. There's only so much we willing to put up with.
Yeah.
After a while, because them turnovers, when he trying to do some kind of, and he lobbed that junk up, say we still have, even Jericho, we know Jericho got a jetpack on his back. Man, he throws some wild pass that Jericho can't even get. Oh man, can you imagine the Bluebirds?
They'll destroy him. Hey, his free throw percentage this season was 66.7.
And what was it at his best?
I don't know. I just know that around this season,
man was shooting like
66.7. That's I don't know if
66.7 making RJ. He making RJ. He made RJ look like he was IQ or Steph at the free throw line. 66.7 though.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, is that there's a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure for that man being on that team.
And Lakers,
man.
And shout out,
what they was asking him to do.
And don't bring this up real quick too, Ron. Real quick, I'm gonna give it right back to you. Shout out to Big Shiesty because he's saying with a lot of people, other things, Westbrook in his fashion attire.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be another thing, man. So he gonna come in. he come to the game wearing one of his fashionable orange. I mean, he come in with a blue and orange, one of his fashion design dress with a jacket or something, looking like Mr. Peanut or something. It's gonna be all bad, man.
Hey, that might not look as bad as Nate Robinson putting on that trunks with our colors. And getting KO'd.
Hey, there's only two players. If we're not considering the draft, there's only two players that I like. I really want in this team, and for some reason, I feel like is going to make a big impact. Number two is going to be Patrick Beverly, and number one to me is DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I'm with you on both of those, especially DeJounte Murray.
Oh yeah, that's my number one.
I always stutter when they say his first name, man. So he must be something off because I get a bow-legged tongue trying to say that man's name. But I like Murray, man. I like Murray, and one person that's been in the chat, as much flack as we all have given him, sharing with him, has been one of the main ones talking. I've said something, I've always looked at him and I liked what that young cat could bring. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're talking about an SGA. So that's a young cat you could bring to New York, man. If you could make the deal, but man, you're gonna have to give up to get on that.
But I'm gonna tell you, I think they're definitely gonna address that point guard position. We're not coming back with these same point guards next year.
No.
We can forget that. They're gonna address that, and they got to go get another wing. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, for as much as I like Cam Reddish's game, I got my concerns about him, especially from what I heard about that situation with that shoulder. If y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, they say he didn't have the surgery. He just rehabbed it.
Yeah, he rehabbed because you're going to do a rehab first before you had a surgery, and if he has the surgery, then he's going to be down.
Next season is going. Yeah,
but
next season is
going. That's what I'm saying. If that shoulder, because sometimes they give you the option of that, right? Sometimes it's best to just go ahead and get the surgery. Go ahead and go underneath the knife and go and get that thing taken care of, because that shoulder can pop out at any time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care how much you strengthen it. Once that thing pop out of its socket,
it's easy.
You know what I mean? It's susceptible to keep doing it.
It's easily get a shoulder dislocation. It's real easy to pop that joke out.
And that's the thing. That's my concerns. They definitely need to go get another small forward.
Yeah.
See, my thing is that's why I'm on. Jaden Ivey would be nice, but who I'm looking at, who I want, is Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin just got that. He got it.
That leadership as well.
Yeah, he's got that it factor for New York. Like I said, I don't remember who said it. I think it was, I don't know, it was Mr. Lee or Mr. Corey Lee or somebody. I've also heard it before. A few people said that he got game to go down to the Rucker and get it.
Yeah, I looked at his stats. It's not that much of a difference of Jaden Ivey. The only thing that Jaden Ivey has above him is his speed and his ball handling. But what Mathurin has is the leadership and something else. But he's taller than
he's taller. He's bigger. Yeah. Because you could put Mathurin. Sorry, my apologies.
No, you good, brother.
You could put Mathurin on the floor with RJ. You could put RJ back to the 2, put Ben at the 3, or flip it around. See what I'm saying? You could flip those cats around and just who you play matchup nightmare. You can put me and Mathurin all over the place, man.
Hey, man, Bodega Wi-Fi got a good point. He says, we have been saying we need a point guard for over 20 years. Watch us not take a point guard until the second round. That's if we draft one at all.
Yeah, Bodega Wi-Fi is right. I mean, I cannot disagree.
That's something for us to even have that in our minds that could happen, which we know it could.
Yeah, but
shout out to Bodega Wi-Fi.
Let you know.
But Ron, who we gonna get as
the front office?
But who we gonna get as a point guard in this draft? Like, it just doesn't look like somebody is promising to get it from this draft. If we actually get him, I feel that's why I want this dude. What's his name? DeJounte Murray. No, DeJounte Murray. Like, he will be great. Defense.
San Antonio ain't gonna give him up, man. San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio's not giving up. They're gonna be on him like they holding on him. Yeah, they're holding on to him like a pit on the bone.
He's the reason why they moved Derek White.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. When it comes down to it in this draft, man, I guess I'm gonna have to get my top hat, give me some little shrunken heads, paint my face white, give me some goats and chickens and sacrifice to the basketball gods that we can get Ben Mathurin somehow, some way that Ben Mathurin falls to us, man. I like the fact that we need the point guard situation is always going to be an issue until we get that forerunner, unless you're going to invest the time into what the two young guys we have, i.e. IQ, which is very unpopular, and then Deuce, who's really rated as a point guard. And then the other thing is the wing, the small forwards. You saying we got a log jam and everything. We got to move. Look, Burks is going to get that contract that he's on the last year of his contract. That's appeasing to teams that's trying to do salary dumps and all like that. Then you got Nerlens the same way. Those are salary dump. Those contracts are looking real tasty to some organizations right now, and a playoff team too, especially with playoff team with Burks. What Burks can do for a playoff team, we'll say a team like the Clippers or whoever else, or he can make his way back to Philly. Just saying, those just teams just throwing out teams. Not saying any of them are going to do it, but a contender would look for a Burks.
Wouldn't it be wise to actually give the benefit of the doubt in trade time? IQ to run the point guard from the beginning all the way to the trade deadline. I'm not saying trade.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you nice. I've been saying it for a while. If we ain't going out in the free agent market, because I don't want us to go crazy and just try to trade up just to trade up and grab somebody. You know what I mean? Really, for what IQ showed me, I'm willing to start the season with IQ.
Yeah.
At the starting point guard, but I'm gonna tell you, one person on this team who got the ability to be a floor general. When I look at his game, will he ever become that? When I look at this guy, he is a true point guard in the sense of the word. Deuce McBride.
Yeah.
He is a pass first guy.
Yeah,
he is a point guard. And just with another year, who knows what that guy is going to become? You know what I mean? So, and when I look at his game, it's two people that come to my mind who I think he's going to be comparable to who I saw when I looked at him and watching him coming in, and even this season. Two people. I see a lot of Chauncey Billups, and I see Kyle Lowry. Those two guys.
Yes.
He had his defense is already on par with the best in the league. His defense is that good. I remember watching him frustrate Steph Curry, where Steph Curry was pushing him to try to get open. I was like, okay, young fella, I see you. I see you.
He gives me vibes of Marcus Smart.
And Marcus Smart.
And I said that since the beginning. Once we drafted him and I seen him play a couple times, I'm like, man, he reminds me of that dude from Boston. What's his? Yeah, Marcus Smart. Like he has that hunger. If there's one thing I love from cats like him, is that hunger. And that hunger, you can't say that about many players in the league.
And he was coached hard in college. He's come from a defensive college, and he's tough. And he's used to being coached hard. It's just that he just needs to get time to shine. I'm good with not really pulling the trigger and trying to bring a point guard in right now, because I don't want us to repeat what, it's not out of fear. It's not. I'm not saying to be out of fear over the cost. I want us to make the right smart move. But if you have the opportunity and you can get you a Ben Mathurin or a wing that can fit in there, and I'm gonna just keep seeing Ben Mathurin because that's who, as you can see, that's who I'm on with. I'm locked in on.
Bro, I think, Soul Finger, I'm almost willing to bet you a bag of sunflower seeds that Ben Mathurin is gonna be Rookie of the Year.
And I'm willing to roll with you on this. I'm not willing to bet against you on this.
And here's why. And I'm trying to save my prospect breakdown. But here's the thing. The dude has a Latrell Sprewell athleticism and thing to him. And I know everybody don't like Latrell Sprewell. I understand.
Man, I love Sprewell.
Right? I understand people don't like the yappy, doggy, never back down thing because some people be like, yo, you got to understand the time of the game and all this stuff, man. So you got to maintain your composure. Sprewell ain't back down from nobody. And maybe that's the reason why he didn't win championships and all that stuff. But Sprewell didn't back down from zero matchup at any time, right? But then if you could fix Latrell Sprewell, you like, yo, if I could add one thing to the Latrell Sprewell game, I wish he had a jump shot like
Jump shot, yes, sir.
Right? All of a sudden, this kid Ben Mathurin has the prettiest left-right 1-2 shot base high release in the draft. Right? When you look at when you teach the jump shot to a little kid, Ben Mathurin is the poster boy. The left-right, one step into your shot, right? Step into your shot, high release for a dude that's 6'6" and that can jump. Right? Mm-hmm. And so you take a Ben Mathurin if you're the Knicks. Right? So say if you're the Knicks and say, Ron, you remember in 96 when the Knicks had 3 first-round picks and they were trying to trade up? They were trying to trade up to, I think, 10, right? And the Knicks were like 3 first-round picks is not worth trading up to 10. Mm-hmm. Guess who went 13th in that draft?
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
And guess who the Knicks took with their 3 first-round picks?
Is that the
John Wallace, Dante Jones, and Walter McCarty. And if you in the chat and you say, who did the Knicks take? Exactly.
And 2 of them guys, they ain't never
did nothing.
Became bigger.
Yeah, and one is coach of the year.
Right. And then here's the other thing too. So what if you trade up that far and you didn't get Kobe, right? You could have got the dude that didn't speak English, the sweet shooting dude the Sacramento Kings got. You know who that was? Peja Stojakovic.
Yep.
Or tough as nails.
Or you could have traded 2 picks, traded up, and got Steve Nash. Right? So now Knicks fans are like at 11 this year. They're like, man, I don't know. I don't know if trading up is worth it.
Nah,
but you missed out on Steph
if you
Curry.
got a chance to, sorry, my apologies, Freeze. I mean to cut you off. But if you have a shot to get a Ben Mathurin or Jaden Ivey, something like that, and it's supposedly because the draft isn't as weak as everybody keeps saying.
No.
That's what they say.
They say, but it's not. It's big. It is big.
There's a lot of quality.
With quality.
Quality, yeah.
Right.
I would go after. And again, I'm not just saying it because Freezy and I are both big on Ben Mathurin, and I'm gonna tell you, Freezy was the one who brought it up along with Tyre Eason, and I looked at both of them. Tyre Eason, I like because if we stayed at 11, he could probably fall to us. But if I got the chance to be aggressive and do something that we haven't seen the Knicks front office do, it's no, like I said, it's no real, when it comes to football, I'm a who that. Saints my squad. I always said that.
Hey man,
and when
you poor thing, bro. We feel sorry for you, bro.
Don't feel sorry. Don't feel sorry.
You're a Saints fan, man. We feel for you, bro.
Don't feel bad for me. I can at least say we got one bowl under the now the days of the paper bag.
Yeah, our Dolphins can't say that though, bro.
Hey, you must be a Jet fan, Freezy.
Man, I mean,
our Dolphins can't say that, man.
Hey, you see, I can't wait till the season starts.
Hey,
yeah, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right here. This is where I was going with it. I'm a who that, and when we had Sean Payton knew if we needed defense. We needed defense. We need to get that linebacker. Sean Payton want to bring in the offense. He want to use the pick and get him a receiver, somebody out you ain't never heard of, or some cat from small college. Now, did it work? Teron Armstead. Hey, Ron, you welcome. You got him now. Teron Armstead. It worked out in some aspects like that.
He an old man now, though.
Yeah, but where I'm going with it. Yeah, but where I'm going with it now is, being that we are Knicks fans, and since Jesus was a baby, we've been screaming point guard, point guard, point guard. And also we're looking at it now as small forward, or a wing player. What up? We got a glut of wings, but they're not the right wing.
Yeah.
Right.
We got a glut of wings. We don't have a lot of we don't have enough athleticism.
Yeah, we really don't have no length.
No, we don't have length either. That's why look at Toronto. Toronto is a long, lanky, athletic team, and I love that about our Toronto.
Look at the team that's gonna win the championship.
Yeah, we're talking about Boston, man. Another group of long. They got length and athleticism. Now with us, we got key pieces, but We need to improve upon the pieces we got. Because think about it. We have 3 athletic players that I know. I mean, you said Ferry Hunt is athletic. I haven't really seen him get down. But I'm gonna say this: we have 3 athletic players.
He an athlete, bro. He might be the best
he's
athlete we got.
All right,
Farron Hunt?
4. Yeah, Farron Hunt. I didn't get a chance to see him, but I'm gonna tell you, put it like, so you got 4. Of the 4, you know who I'm counting in the 4, and this is what make it a crying shame. You know who's one of our 4th athletic players? D Rose.
Oh yeah,
that's something, ain't it? That's something.
You just just messed up.
That's something. A man.
But think about it, right there. He's one of the most athletic players we got.
Broke down man
he's one of the ones next to Obi, Farron Hunt.
Can still reverse.
Yeah. And Cam Reddish. Those are athletic players, man. The other guy, I mean, and I'm gonna put, you know what? Correction. I'm gonna put Randle in there because Randle is athletic. He's just not a high flyer, but he's athletic for his size. Right. So what we need to do, if you're looking at look at what it boiled down to with the teams that's winning, that's in the finals. They're athletic. And we talked about other teams in our conference, and they play defense. Look at Toronto, athletic and long. Look, hey, Dallas got athleticism.
Right.
They got some athletic pieces here. They're not as many, but you got to look at it, man. You got to get athletic players
Memphis
and link. That's the prime example. Young, long, and athletic. Memphis and Toronto are kind of like the blueprints, but then you have Golden State, they got their core, and their core grew together, and they kept adding more pieces, and they got young athletic pieces. Look at the Jordan Pooles, the Kumingas. Look, what's the other? The Moody's. Look, Juan Castano is the name. Juan Castano.
You got Kuminga. You got Jonathan Kuminga. You got what's the other boy? The one that got traded there looked like he was drafted by him the way he playing for him.
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
And they got Wiseman too.
You got James Wiseman. All those athletes. All of them are athletes. That's what I'm saying. We have to make that jump and jump on one of these boards when you got a chance. You don't jump on it with one foot. You jump on it with both feet.
You know what? So I think I've been saying this for a while. Y'all look at our team. We really are a 90s built team.
Yeah.
With a 90s style coach. Yeah. That's exactly what we are. We ain't got the memo. Everybody else done found out the league getting bigger and longer. We still trying to play the old way.
And that was 30 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, we still trying to play that old way, man.
Yeah, we still trying to wear our Calcanine jeans.
Come on, man, big and baggy.
You wearing Calcanine and damaged jeans.
Yeah, and cross colors.
And still drinking your big mouth Mickeys.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man.
And St. Ides.
You know what was even more surprising, that out of all the players that we have, if we do decide of keeping Randle, the one that I would rather play as a point guard is not Emmanuel Quickly.
Deuce.
Yeah, it's Deuce. And just because it will help out even more Julius Randle. And I'm not saying that IQ is bad. The only thing is on defense, I see more Deuce doing his thing, more stealing, more being that hunger figure like a Marcus Smart. That's what Julius Randle needs, so that whoever Julius Randle is defending, he doesn't need to be worrying about whoever Deuce is guarding, because Deuce is going to be doing his thing.
Oh, now, they're going to be locked up.
Yeah, so the only reason I will play more Deuce before I play IQ is because of that simple fact, and it will give even more power for
a dog on defense,
even for Obi, for Quickly, and I will mix RJ in that role. Like, he will start, RJ will start, but he will have even more time also with the bench, because I love seeing RJ run. I don't like seeing RJ being stagnant.
I'm gonna tell you, Nice. I like what you said about Deuce, and this is something I've always liked, man. When you got a point guard that can create havoc out there, man, that just disrupts everything.
Yeah.
Now you ain't only trying to worry about that man guarding you that's causing a problem. You fighting against that shot clock too.
And Rod, you know what's the funny thing? That IQ is my favorite player, and I still say I would rather play dudes. And it's not about one player being your favorite. Is that you see what will be more possible for the Knicks to be. I mean, what will be more successful for the team to do? instead of playing one of your players that you like the most, play another players. You just start looking at the broader picture and not be center on who you like more, and be messing up the whole thing with the team.
I'm gonna say this. Can I say this, young man? I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Deuce has the right attributes to
Mm-hmm.
be a starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He
Say it
has
again.
the right. He's defensive minded. That's why Tibbs was like, "Yo, go get this dude."
Mm-hmm.
Tibbs handpicked him as well as
Mm-hmm.
my man. What's the man? Oh, he got hurt.
Grimes.
Grimes. Thank you. And Grimes. I'm glad you are coming back to the point that I brought up earlier. Thank you, Soulfinger, and thank you, Ron, because y'all brought that back up. And I'm trying to tell you, he's the hidden gem. I promise you, he's the hidden gem. If he shows up in shape and shows out in the training camp, I bet you, he's gonna be him quickly gonna be duking it out to be the
Yeah.
starting point
Oh
guard.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I said this.
And that's why I'm not sweating.
I gotta
But
get
hold
out
on a
of here,
second. Let
man.
me
I
finish
gotta
this
end it
point.
right here so I can go get me some rest. But man, I
Okay.
appreciate everybody for coming through. Man, we've been rocking for like 3 hours and 15 minutes. It don't even feel like it.
And Freezer, you gonna go to sleep and dream about that championship banner going up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's coming, bro.
Let's go Dolphins.
I don't know about that one, but anyway. I don't know about that one. Let's go Big Blue. Let's go Big Blue. But anyway.
Hey y'all, let me Mr. Lee, I'm gonna wrap up right here, man. I gotta get out of here. But we'll be back on tomorrow.
Hey,
For sure. I'm gonna
man.
be back with that tomorrow.
Good combo, man. Good combo. Let's keep this thing going, Knicks family, man. Hey, we ain't that far away, man. The sky ain't falling. We gonna get back to it,
We
man.
2 seasons.
Hey, just
we
remember
2,
that
3
feeling from
seasons.
last year.
Yeah, man. Hey, so
we 2, 3 seasons away.
Yep. So peace, everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow.